Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself, I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for being with us on the program. Happy Friday to you. Happy pre-Super Bowl JJ and Alex version of the program today to you. Joining us on the program right now, sitting in for JJ, who happens to be in Santa Clara, California for, we can call it the Super Bowl because we're not giving anything away right now. Sly, what's going on? Stevenson Sylvester, of course, the our dude
hitter.
who comes in and
Pinch hitter.
It's not just that, man. Like, you're the pinch runner, pinch hitter. You could just be all the pinch, please. That'd be great. So
You guys can still take the credit. I don't need it. I just like to play the game.
Here's how much Sly is in our studio too. You and me were a promo like last week on Instagram, dude.
Were we?
Yeah, it was like a back and forth. I start off arguing about something and I'm saying something, and then it cuts to you and I go, "Oh yeah, Sly, he deserves a promo. Absolutely, Sly needs a promo. Come on, man,
Let's do it.
It was all about the college football playoff stuff and just how the committee didn't want to budge on anything, and the SEC and the Big Ten were fighting, and so the usual.
Hey.
The usual. So it's a fun weekend to have a guy who played in the Super Bowl sitting to my right. And, of course, JJ is out covering the Super Bowl in Santa Clara for KSL 5 Television and for us here at KSL Sports. And somebody's asking me, they're like, oh, my gosh, how lucky is JJ he gets to go to all these things? I'm going to be totally honest.
You're going to talk to JJ. He would not agree.
When you go to a lot of Olympics and you go to a lot of Super Bowls, you tell people it's a great opportunity, and then you also go, those are some hard days of work. Well, and so right now we have Sam in Milan Cortina, and so JJ's having to pick up all of the slack here back in Salt Lake City, and then they go, and also go cover the Super Bowl this weekend. So MVP award goes to JJ this weekend over Sam Farnsworth. It was the closest MVP race that we've had between the two sports anchors in 23 years. So we're glad that was able to happen. We were able to throw that down. All right, we're kicking off the show, of course, as usual with the cut. So why not start to get things kicked off here talking about the biggest event over the weekend? I'm not talking about the opening ceremonies, although those were pretty fun to watch.
Oh, talk about waste management?
I'm not talking about the waste management. I call it the wasted management, by the way.
Yeah.
Those guys are
great rename.
Pretty wild. Let's get going on the cut. Let's jump right to it.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Joining us on the program right now, Bryan DeArdo joins us periodically for us to, of course, jam on everything NFL related, and he's doing that again today. Bryan, thanks for being with us today, man. We appreciate it.
Anytime. And I was watching the waste management. That looked like a course that it's fun to watch, not necessarily very fun to play, especially on the putting greens.
It does look tough, but everybody says it's an event, and it certainly is its own thing. It is definitely unique. And all the other tournaments that are going to be like, well, how could we be more like the waste management? And people are like, yeah, you don't want to know.
Augusta wants to be more like waste management.
Right. You don't want to know how they get there. But Bryan, of course, covers the NFL for CBS Sports, and nice enough to throw in his rankings this week of the first 59 Super Bowls. How was it going through all 59 of those? Because I'm trying to figure out, I can barely even wrap my head around sometimes from year to year who was playing in the previous ones. But all of these are difficult. I know which ones were bad, including my Seahawks back in 2013 beating up on the Broncos. It started with a snap over the head, and it didn't get any better. Where did that one rank on the list? Because that was the first thing I was looking at. Like, I as a Seahawks fan, can tell you it is not a good Super Bowl.
It's about second to last, I believe. I believe the worst one was 35. Now, to answer your first question, I just have always been obsessed with Super Bowls. It's like a Rain Man thing for me. Like, my wife will tell you, like, I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, but if you tell me a Super Bowl number, I can tell you the MVP, the score, who played in it. I've always been obsessed with it. So when I got that assignment, I started about a month out. I decided to just summarize all of them first, then rank them together. The one thing I found, though, I feel like there's like 5 that are definitively better than all the other ones. So it's kind of really, to me, doesn't matter what order you put those 5 in as long as those 5 are in the front.
Well, that's what I was wondering is like how, because obviously you look at it and go, well, it was a close game. That's what kind of makes it. I feel like that's just a piece of it because there's a lot that also goes into it. So what were the determining factors that gave you this definitive top 5? And I'll run through it real quick here for people who want to go and they can see where their teams are in this one. The Super Bowl in 2009 between the Steelers and the Cardinals. My co-host today, Stevens and Sylvester, played in that Super Bowl down at Jerry World.
No, I didn't play in that one.
Oh, no, you're in 10.
I was in 10.
You were the next year. Okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't want to bring up.
I was at the Sugar Bowl at that time.
I didn't want to. Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't want to bring up harsh feelings. But that was a good one. That was Santonio Holmes with the tippy toes.
Incredible
right?
game.
That was also the James Harrison oxygen mask game too. Yeah. So that for me does it. But what were the criteria that you got your top ones with?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was competitive games, start to finish, notable plays, performances, and then the enduring history, legacy, right? And, you mentioned 45. That one was so weird for me. It was just outside my top 20. It was right next to the Super Bowl where the lights went out with the 47 Ravens and 49ers. Mm-hmm. Those Super Bowls are so weird to me because, they were really good games. Packers-Steelers was a great game. But it's just never really remembered in the pantheon of greatest Super Bowls. I'm guessing the reason why is there was no lead changes. Green Bay led the entire way. There were some drops in there. So as far as the cleanliness of the game, there really wasn't much of one. And then the last drive for the Steelers, there was really no drama. Green Bay kind of ended it pretty quickly, but it was still a great game. To me, and this is the craziest part, I picked 25 Giants-Bills missed field goal. I had a lot of insecurity unnecessarily for 48 hours because I scanned the globe and the internet for any other ranking that ever put that number 1, and it was unanimously no. So I'm sitting around why am I putting this game? Nobody. It's always in the top 5. I feel like 42, Giants, Patriots, the upset.
Right.
That one, the Patriots comeback, and the Cardinals Steelers Super Bowl. Those are kind of always unanimously, and the 49, the interception, Malcolm Butler, Patriots, Seahawks.
Yes.
Those are kind of always top 4 with this one right behind it. But again, with my criteria, this game start to finish, 4 lead changes. It was never a blowout anyway. The missed field goal at the end. The great Giants, strategy with control the ball for 40 minutes. The Bill Belichick game plan to basically concede the running game and not allow the Bills passing game to beat them. It just had all the elements to me to be number 1.
Yeah, Scott Norwood, man, broke a lot of hearts that day.
Oh yeah, he did for sure. For me, I got stuck. With the first 10, from 59 to 50. How did you even finish this, bro? Because for me, it just brought me back to my childhood when I'm sitting 3 feet away from the TV screen watching NFL films and seeing all these games. So it's so many memories.
They run all together, yeah.
Yeah, how did you even finish this? Because I got stuck. I remember that game, that Raiders and Redskins. That was a crazy game on NFL films. It was dope. This, and this. I didn't even know how you got all the way to 1. You said you had a month. It would have took me a year to get down to the criteria. But you said that you're just a nerd with all this, which we all are. We're a sports nerds.
Yeah, not to this level, though.
How fun was that just being assigned to this and then going through it and making all that happen?
Yeah, not to get corny, it was literally a dream come true for me. I grew up, again, John Facenda, Steve Sable, like you're talking about, those Super Bowl highlight videos, that to me used to be Super Bowl Sunday. I don't even watch all the pregame shows.
I just
My Super Bowl Sundays were forever on. Yeah, ESPN too. It start the Saturday night, they'd start Super Bowl 1, and then you literally would go all the way through. And the crazy part is, Brett Favre, the morning of Super Bowl 31, was watching all that stuff. Was watching 24th Montana with the when he called an audible. And then he's playing in the same stadium later that day against a Bill Belichick defense and calls an audible, which was the same audible because they had the same offensive system, the West Coast offense with Mike Holmgren. So, to kind of tie it all together. So, again, if you were just a kid back then, 80s, 90s, with those Super Bowl highlights, it made football like a Star Wars movie. It made it more than just a game. It was a cinematic experience, ballet in slow motion, you could say. And but to answer your question, though, the thing that I always told myself, the biggest thing with 59 to 50 and 49 to 40, for me it was a lot about competitiveness. Mm-hmm. How long was the game competitive? So 40 or 22, for example, it was 35-10 at halftime. So it wasn't close after the second quarter. However, all 35 points by Washington were in the second quarter, which is a Super Bowl record. You have Doug Williams being the first black quarterback to win the Super Bowl. So the game in itself was a rout. However, the historical elements moved it ahead of other games. So 48 for, the Seahawks-Broncos game, that was a blowout. That was ranked ahead of that one because there's just many more historical elements. But the other thing I also said, people aren't going to nitpick it that much from like 42, 41. What really you got to nail it down is that top 5. And I took a risk with 25. Not everybody's going to agree with me. I could have been safe and picked 42. The Giants, Eli upset. But just for me, start to finish, I just thought 25. And you had the Whitney Houston national anthem.
Oh, of course.
You had the back for dropping the ball forward. There was just every single element of that game checked the boxes. Now, Sandberg makes that field goal. It's number 1. Nobody argues. You're not going to hold it against this game that he missed it, right?
I'm looking at this too, and my brain always goes to the worst games sometimes. Like, it's easy to pick the worst games. It's easy to pick the best ones, but the worst games, we've had a lot of blowouts in Super Bowl history, man. I remember when I was a kid, I was living in Dallas during that reign of the Cowboys, of that streak of 3 that they, when they won 3 out of 4 years, and it was that 52-17. Leon Lett could have made it 59. Was it Don Beebe who ran him down? So that game was a blowout. There are so many blowouts that I've witnessed here, and I'm like, how do we get to the Super Bowl and get blowouts in the league that has the most parity in the history of the game?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Well, right, but back then, as we all know, the parity really wasn't quite there anymore. I mean, because that Super Bowl right there, Super Bowl 27, I mean, that was right at the end of right before the salary cap era, right? So you had Dallas with those stocked rosters. I think, what did Jimmy Johnson have during that point? He had 51 different trades during that period to build that dominant team. So, and I think Buffalo lost Jim Kelly in like the first or second quarter in that game. So you have that major injury, the 9 turnovers that the Cowboys forced. But I think to your point, though, and it's an amazing point. The craziest thing is when you're doing this list, basically almost every great Super Bowl is in this century because of the parity and the salary cap. Roger Goodell said it earlier this week, which blew my mind. 8 division winners this year in the NFL, 7 new ones, including the 2 in the Super Bowl. So, again, to your point, harder to have those blowouts, and that's why it was weird to have number 1 from the 90s, 1991 specifically, because that was right in the middle of all these blowouts in the NFC's reign of 13 straight Super Bowl wins.
Yeah, man. So who was the most, going through all of this, and I was actually just looking at, like, all of the crazy MVP winners, and I was surprised. I thought Tom Brady only had 2 Super Bowl victories.
Those quarterbacks they get the MVP if they don't want to give it to anybody else.
Right. So we going through all of this, like, who was the most unique MVP that you've seen, right? Like, from, like, defensive guys, from Jake Scott, and I seen the Redskin ones, and
it's got to be Larry Brown from the Cowboys.
Larry Brown and Cowboys, against my Steelers. But like, what was the most unique MVP that you came across with putting this list together?
That's such an amazing question. I've never been asked that. I would say probably, you could start with Chuck Howley, the first MVP from a losing team, and the only one from a losing team, the Cowboys Super Bowl 5, had 2 interceptions. Here's a weird one, though. Dexter Jackson was the MVP of 37, Tampa, Oakland. He had 2 interceptions. However, Dwight Smith, his teammate, also had 2 interceptions. They were both pick sixes. So it was like, why did you pick one one defensive back over the other one? But, yeah, I think it's because Dwight Smith's interceptions were so much earlier in the game. I think another one that I've always kind of been interested in as far as MVPs, Terry Bradshaw, the MVP of Super Bowl 14, even though he had 3 interceptions. John Stallworth, a lot of people have always argued that he should have been MVP. He only had 3 catches, but he had the 73-yard game winner and a 45-yarder that kind of put the game on ice. And both catches were pretty incredible. So those are just kind of 2 that stand out right now. But there's another one that I got to say they weren't the MVPs, but Joseph Adai and Dominique Rhodes I always thought should have shared the MVP, and it was 41. Peyton Manning's one. Manning played well in that game, but Adai and Rhodes had both. They should have been co-MVPs in my opinion.
I think that we were looking at the Tom Brady one because we were like, I think he's won 5, and he did. He's won 5 MVPs. Yeah. And I think the first one was funny because Sly was like, I think he threw 145 yards and 1 touchdown, and you go, I don't know. I think everybody was just kind of impressed that the guy
actually did it.
Well, he was coming in, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's the backup dude from when he was a backup in college, too, and he came in and did it. So there's also that part, and there's a little bit of maybe some history in the making with Sam Darnold, of course, in this game. When you see this matchup, and I'm a guy who rooted for the Seahawks a lot growing up, grew up in that area, and I even recognize, too, that this doesn't feel like it has the same edge as some of these other Super Bowls of late have had. Have you gotten that same sense, or are people excited about this one as much as they are about every Super Bowl?
No, I can see my page views and our page views this week. They're down. People aren't really as fired up for this one. So I don't know. it's funny because people always say there's Chiefs fatigue, but this time last year we had a lot more excitement, at least for our website around this game as far as viewership. So I do think that there is not as much excitement. That being said, I mean, because again, what are games driven by? What at the end of the day, it's about entertainment and star power, right? It's like an action movie is going to be better in the day if Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sly Stallone's in it, right? It's not going to have the same appeal if I'm in the movie, right, or one of us is the leading man. So I think we need in this game. I'm sure they would love if Drake May kind of came out of the woodwork and kind of had a game that kind of put him on the map. But here's the guy I'm hoping does well for a few reasons. A, because he went to my alma mater. Jackson Smith-Njigba. He had 300 yards in a Rose Bowl a couple of years ago when Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson up there. You Utah guy. I'm so sorry, man. I need better self-awareness.
We were both at that. We were both at that Rose Bowl.
Game, though. That was an amazing game.
Well, I want to share with you, and I take this as a compliment. And I hope I'm not throwing salt on the wounds. I'm an Ohio State alumni. I was there right after, in between national championships. Mm-hmm. That was one of the most satisfying wins of my life because of the fact that Utah was such a good team, and they had all the momentum. They were winning basically the entire game, and we didn't have Olave and Wilson in. And I remember just sitting there thinking, man, whoever is in this game, I hope they win because it validates that these games still matter. Right. That it's not all about national championships. To see Jackson Smith-Njigba step up and C.J. Stroud step up. And whenever Buckeye fans ridicule him for not winning anything big when he was here, I always point to that game. So, again, no disrespect to Utah. And really, it's nothing but love for me because it was such an amazing game and they were such a great team. And it's one of the most underrated moments for me as an Ohio State fan in OSU history. And I think Smith-Njigba could have another one of those games. I get Jerry Rice flashbacks sometimes watching him play because he still gets the ball, even though everybody knows he's going to get it. And just like Rice, he makes a lot of his damage and slam passes over the middle.
All right, can you go a little bit, going back to your list real quick, in Super Bowl 25, you got, the Giants and the Bills and Whitney Houston winning your top spot there. A little bit more into what that game really brought to get it to number one over some of these other ones like the Giants-Patriots matchups or even the Giants-Falcons matchups. And, of course, the drama is what really gets to it in the storylines. But in that top one right there, what really brought you to that decision?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think for me, 42, the Giants-Patriots, 17-14. There wasn't enough scoring for me. Mm-hmm. There's 30 minutes plus in that game where both teams scored on their opening drives, and then neither team scored again until the fourth quarter.
Right.
So to me, the best Super Bowl ever, and it wasn't like it was just great because I love defense, but it wasn't a very clean game by either offense, really. I mean, and so for me, 25, it wasn't, the offenses played well, the defenses played well. There were no turnovers, but there was the Bruce Smith safety. It was always close. There was scoring at every element of the game. And I just think, again, you had the Whitney Houston backdrop, the Gulf War. People were in tears before the game even kicked off. Everybody was so emotional. And it was similar to 36 after 9/11. I think America just needed something to feel good about and get their minds off of everything that was going on. And 36 did that, and 25 absolutely did that.
Right.
And I just think also, the fact that the Giants had a backup quarterback. They had a backup 34-year-old running back in Otis Anderson. They weren't supposed to win that game. You have two Hall of Fame should be Hall of Fame coaches, Belichick and Parcells, who just come up with this amazing game plan that we're just going to control the ball. We're going to have, control the ball for 40 minutes with third down completions. And Mark Ingram, one of the most underrated plays in Super Bowl history, the 3rd and 13 conversion, where he breaks 5 tackles to get the first down. You've got the Bills and Thurman Thomas. It was an unbelievable performance in a losing effort. The last drive, right down to the wire. Like I said, the only thing that's really missing from this game is a last-minute touchdown. The last score was 8 minutes left. But again, I don't know if there's ever been a perfect Super Bowl, but I just think this one just checked all the boxes from a drama standpoint, an entertainment standpoint, a competitive standpoint, and a memorable standpoint. And I think that really set the bar for all the Super Bowls that came later.
All right, Bryan DeArdo. He talks about Super Bowls like we talk about children. He's like, oh, man. Yeah, I remember fondly 31. Referring to them as numbers is actually a different level, too.
Yeah.
I'll talk about maybe the years that they were in, but, the way you talk about these things, I love that you said it's a dream come true to put together these Super Bowls because you can hear it in your voice, and we love having that. Appreciate the breakdowns, and I hope that this one turns out to be one that is for the ages as well. At least keep it close so we can get it in the top 10 for next year's list, Brian. We appreciate it.
That's right. And speaking of kids, my 3-year-old's been in the car the entire time while I've been doing this, so I'm going to reward her with a cookie now. And, yeah, it's always good to be on with you guys, and let's hope we have another great game.
There you go. Bryan DeArdo. It's a good market to have the kids on the phone with, by the way. People understand. They get it.
Or the dogs. You went ham on the guy with the dogs the other
Who
day.
had the dogs?
I forgot.
It was, it might have been Pete Futak.
Yeah.
He had all those dogs. I was like, now, hold on a minute. Tell me those dogs' names. Have they been good boys today? I do. I'm all about it. When I heard the 3-year-old in the background, because I have a 3-year-old, and she's in the background all the time. There's a lot of like Teams calls that I have for work that I'm like, oh boy. Good thing I can put this on mute while somebody else talks. Yeah. It's difficult, so we get it. All right. Let me see here. We got to let's take a break. We'll come back. We're going to have Sam Farnsworth on at some point here in the program. I just trying to work it out scheduling wise for him as he's in Milan Cortina. Such is life right now. It's almost midnight there on the continent, so we're going to get some thoughts on the opening ceremonies, thoughts on some of the biggest athletes here, of course, from not just the state of Utah, but also Team USA overall. The games are underway. Of course, that's how it works. They are already kicking things off, and we're excited about it. So we'll let you know when we get Sam available as well. So stay right here with us. More to go. 97.5 VKSL Sports Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone. Alex, Kirry, Stevenson, Sylvester, Sly sitting in for JJ, who's out in Santa Clara. We're going to dip in with Sam a little bit later in the program. From the site of Super Bowl 60, I don't know, like in my mind, maybe it's not, like it's just wild for me to think that you played in a Super Bowl, Sly, because like wrapping my head around just like getting excited about the Super Bowl as a fan is wild enough. And you get excited and I'm just thinking to myself, it's your rookie year. You go and you play in the Super Bowl, and when those flash bulbs are going off, because that's the thing. Like the Super Bowl, they always say, they go, watch the beginning of these games.
It's the most amazing thing.
Peyton Manning even said, he goes, I'm watching when Devin Hester returned that touchdown against them in that Bears Colts edition of the Super Bowl. It was funny because he goes, I just wanted to see, because they hadn't been to the Super Bowl, right? That was his first time there. He goes, I had to turn around and watch all the flash bulbs go off because I know that that's like a thing. And sure enough, they're showing it in slow motion. He goes, gosh, it's just amazing because as soon as the ball gets kicked off, that's when they start all popping. When they gets kicked off, boom, they all start going off. And he catches the ball and he's looking around the stadium. Peyton's looking around the stadium going, just an amazing sight. And then he looks over and he's at the 50, the 40, the 30.
Oh, wait.
20, 10, 5
nobody
touchdown.
stopped him yet.
And then he goes, all right, well, this is great. Like
all right,
he goes,
Tony Dungy.
I got to
the man again.
We're going to kick right at him. That moment, pretty crazy. I was thinking about gutsy calls in Super Bowls. And I think that, and I don't like this guy in particular, but when Sean Payton came out, I think of the Philly special, right? That's a great call, right? And to turn the Patriots on themselves, right?
The
and
2009 Super Bowl.
Yeah, to have the Philly special where Nick Foles caught that touchdown after he had handed it off, and he's the backup. It has a little bit of a vibe of this game too, where he comes in, he takes over for Carson Wentz, who was like having a phenomenal, season. And I think about those things. I think about all that stuff happening. I'm like, man. But Sean Payton, when they did the onside kick to start the second half against the Colts,
Super Bowl 44.
in the next time around, yeah, when the Colts are back again, that is crazy to go for an onside kick
At the beginning of the half.
See, and this is the stuff that the dynamic kickoff doesn't allow you to have anymore. That by itself should be an argument like, yeah, but we can't get this wild catch you off guard kind of thing.
Man, for me, I think about that all the time. And because when I was playing is when they started changing the rules, from because I remember guys used to have XFL runs to catch the kickoff. They could line up 20 yards deep and get a head start and hit it on the run. And And I was always the 11 and 12 yards, get my head started, and I'm rolling. I'm all the way down, and then they make you go down the 5 yards. So they were continuously changing. And for me, I think a lot of guys made their hay on those special teams plays. And kickoff very different than punt and very different than other things. And so you got special teams guys, you're taking away a lot of their stuff. And honestly, with this new model, there's been more kick return for touchdowns than I thought there were going to be. And so, of course, there's always ways to scheme everything. But, yeah, changing those rules, and especially in the Super Bowl, I was on kick return in my Super Bowl. So I was able to, hopefully they kicked the touchback. And so it was great. I was able to I wasn't watching the ball. Normally I watch the ball on my drop back. I was watching the crowd. Man, those flashes are incredible.
It's wild to see, huh?
It's incredible, and it's one of the biggest things about the Super Bowl.
Well, but nowadays, I don't know, Christian, you're one of those young people. Who's got a flash on anything these days? There's not a soul in that stadium that's got a flash bulb on there, unless they're just doing it for the effect. Everybody get your phones out. Everybody get your phones out and take a fake camera picture.
Right, make sure the flash is on, Christian.
Yeah, wait. How were they doing it before?
Oh gosh.
You know these little things where they go click, and those ones. I guess they all had their own Kodaks out. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe they did it maybe it's like now they just pass out the LED bracelets like they do at the Taylor Swift concerts and go, hey everybody, here's your fake flash.
How do you know what a Taylor Swift concert involves?
Stop it. You know I collect the bracelets. we don't need to talk about this. But that's what I'm saying. Like they want to have that effect still, so maybe they have like a fake version of it. But yeah, looking at the Super Bowls and looking at how these things kind of get shaken out over the years, like it is funny to try to guess on or to try to determine which ones were the best games. Mm-hmm. It's very subjective because obviously if you've got a dog in the fight, that's one thing. And speaking of dog in the fight, did you believe Tom Brady this week when he said, I actually don't have a dog in this fight?
Yeah. Because
all of his former teammates and even former non-teammates are pissed and they're calling him out and saying, you're lying, dude. You have a dog in this fight. You played for that Patriots team for 20 years.
He don't care. I truly believe
you think he doesn't care.
I think he does not care.
He's just trying to do the down the middle thing as a broadcaster now. That's crap.
I mean, I do.
He even owns a team. So when the Raiders are in it, he's not going to have a dog in the fight?
I mean, that's
Does he
different.
Potentially have more of a dog in the fight for the Raiders?
Fight. That's a different fight.
No way.
He already had angst when he left New England, right? And now that they have the potential of being the team with the most Super Bowl wins and setting all the stages, and Drake May in his second year going to the Super Bowl and all the narratives changing, and Tom Brady essentially, you can't. The guy has 7 Super Bowl victories and 6 for New England. Of being a forgotten thought. But, I honestly think that he doesn't care. I don't think he's cheering for the Patriots at all. He's won his last Super Bowl with a different team. He's got to be happy for Vrabel and that coaching staff and, of course, New England. But at the end of the day, he's a Cali guy. And now as a broadcaster, I'm pretty sure he's sixes. He wants to have a great game to call.
There's no way he's sixes for any of this. I don't believe it 1 second.
I do.
First of all, you know what he is? He's pandering. He's trying to be like, oh, I love everybody.
Of course, you know the narratives that are coming out if he said he had a dog in the fight?
But no one would say, how dare he have a team that he would want to win over the other. He's not broadcasting the game. It's an NBC game.
Right.
So it's not like he has to be like, well, I got to be neutral for the broadcast. I could see him not saying anything about it, no comment. You know what I mean? And everybody can guess. Guess what? The team who made him famous or who he helped make famous.
But it's the same thing of what we're doing now as him saying he doesn't have. We're all speculating anyway.
So I guess the equivalent would be, let's say you played at Utah your entire career, just as a hypothetical. You didn't try to transfer somewhere with the NIL money getting big. I can't believe you turned all those zeros down, man. It hurts, doesn't it, to talk about that era like you're like, if I was just born 10 years later. So that's like saying when a game kicks off at the college football national championship and you're working for CBS Sports and Utah is firing it up against Alabama just to really accentuate the fact that there's a history there, you would absolutely have a dog in the fight. So don't do this thing like, I understand where he's coming from. I get it. You would absolutely have. You're the guy who still says we about Utah. You never drop it.
You're right.
You'll never be that. And so why would Tom Brady?
I don't even hesitate when I say
That's what I'm saying is like there is not a. So why would this be any different? A guy who obviously played 20 years at one place and won 7 or 6 Super Bowls and 5 Super Bowl MVPs of the team. Nah. Who's playing? It's interesting. No, I really don't have a team. I don't have any friends on that team anymore. It's like, get out of here. Get out of here.
Okay.
Nobody believes you.
You made
You're
a
pandering.
very strong case right there because you used me as an example.
I know. And so you're like, I get where he's coming from. No, you can't because you would never get there in your head either because
Right.
you're too loyal.
Right. I get it. I don't know. It had to be how I departed from my.
Right. And Tom isn't. Oh, yeah. That. You know what? That might have actually affected him as well. Mm-hmm. Because it's not like his time there ended like
graciously.
bed
He
of
took
roses.
so many pay cuts to get everybody in, and Patriots didn't do him any justice, and he still was top in the league. If he just had his 2007 type team,
Yeah, interesting.
year after year, how many more Super Bowls the New England Patriots would have won? Yeah, man, I don't know. You make a brilliant case because I'm Utah all the way, but yeah, man, I don't know. This is
But
just
you're
an
not like.
interesting
But
matchup.
you played for the Steelers, and you're not Steelers all the way. Like you'll go.
Right.
I don't have a dog in this fight. I mean, yeah, I played for Pittsburgh, but Mike
Well,
Tomlin's not
here's
there
the-
anymore.
here's the
Like that
thing.
makes a difference.
Well, this whole NIL stuff and money stuff makes things differently. You don't have the same fealty that you used to have back in the day. There's a lot of pride that went into your collegiate teams, and that carried over into the pros. And when you go into the pros, the way the business is and how they can drop you and the way they treat you and this and that, it's easy to. I don't care. It's whatever. It's not the same as college and the grind that you did with all of that, man. So I would just say the times have changed, and now college is probably more like the pros. And so you get these guys who maybe they were at Utah for a couple years and they move on. They don't have that same pride as me who went there my 4 years and all of that. So I think the business of the NFL probably gives Tom Brady that type of feelings.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. I've got a would you rather that you're not going to want to miss. So we'll bring that up. We'll chat more about that. I think we're anticipating the top of next hour to talk some NBA. That's when we'll get to some Utah Jazz as well, who came off of that 2-point loss just at the very end. Darn it, getting nicked by the Hawks last night. They were this close. The ESPN percentages had them all the way up there. They fall short. But quite a game. So we'll talk at the top of the hour, more NBA and much more to go around the corner here with you on a Friday edition of the program, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Listen, everybody. Real life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
All right, everyone, welcome back. Happy Friday to you. The Friday before the Super Bowl, the opening ceremonies of the Olympic Games in Milan Cortina, officially in the books. I always love watching them parade around. And it's really funny because I'll go, I wouldn't have gone with that. I wouldn't have gone with that with that ascot, Chechia. I don't know if I would have worn that. Oh, those berets, tacky.
Oh, God.
What is that, Canada Roots? Come on.
Who's their stylist?
It is. It's like, I think Roots
You
does
eat
all
the
their
bag
stuff.
of chips.
It's like going through the home show and you go, this 14,000 square foot place, I could have seen better. I'd have done better in this room. I probably wouldn't have put that TV stand there. We do that.
They use Maytag? Are you serious? It's
We do that.
2026 and they're
We
still
do that.
using Maytag.
What's funny is that I see those go through and like Ralph Lauren is obviously like the big,
Right.
clothing provider for Team USA. What's funny is you look at it and you go, that's a cool jacket, man. Let's see. Oh, $991 online? Okay. No, thanks. It is like there are multiple $1,000 things you can buy that are part of the Team USA getup. A lot of teams this year going for the full length, like hole in the bottom sleeping bag. You know that look? You know what I'm talking about? The sleeping bag with the feet on the bottom, with the holes on the bottom?
Yeah.
It's like a sleeping bag robe. Lots of countries go in that direction. I get it's cold, but you don't need to look like your Nana walking through like you're trying to get a snack in the early morning.
Hey, man, every Nana's...
The Nona, sorry, not your Nana. It's the Nona.
The Nona's moo is legendary.
We were talking about this before the show because they did, we had some Italian sandwiches, some Italian sodas down in the thing. We're celebrating the kickoff here. Some guy had the guts to tell me as he walked through, he goes, "This isn't Italian. This isn't real Italian." I was like, buddy.
Hey, Jimmy John's is as Italian as it gets.
Valters was not available. I'm really sorry about that. Would you have at least gone with the unlimited salad, soup, and breadsticks at the Olive Garden?
Hey,
make you feel more comfortable?
Nobody better talk smack on the OG. That's my spot.
The OG.
Hey, man. I got gift cards over there.
They're like, Mr. Sly.
Oh, you back again?
No, they don't have an accent. Who am I fooling?
We have your table ready for you.
Some girl from West Jordan's like, "Hey, Sly, you want your usual table?" I've asked them to put.
Me and the boys are going to party at the OG.
I got your request. We'll put more American cheese in the Alfredo sauce. It's fine. All right, so I've got a would you rather here.
All right, let's do it.
I've got in front of me the most that Americans consume food across the entire year for different things.
Across the year,
across the
Super
year.
Bowl.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So, hilariously enough, so you think about what are the big ones? The Thanksgivings, your Christmases. New Year's is actually ahead of Christmas when it comes to
Parties?
the food consumption. Thanksgiving is obviously number one. Number two is the Super Bowl, and then it goes after that to the rest of the other ones. Like I said, Christmas is fourth.
July?
Third is 4th of July is in the top five. They're number five. That's a lot, right? But they're saying Mother's Day weekend is huge. Easter weekend's huge. Get the ham out, right? And then there's National Prime Rib Day. That's a big one. I need to start celebrating that. I've never celebrated it once. You, Christian?
What
no?
What day is that?
Oh, you don't know? It's the day Sir Prime Rib was assassinated. April 27th. Yeah, April 27th is National Prime Rib Day. National Pizza Day is right around the corner here on February 9th. So.
Oh, is that?
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
All right, so my question for you is, would you rather have a Thanksgiving feast or a Christmas feast or the Super Bowl food that you get? I'm going to make you answer this too, Christian. Think about it.
I'm Thanksgiving.
Because everybody's
Thanksgiving is my number one holiday. I'm a fatty, bro. I love the food, the variations, the different stuff from I love vegetables from green beans to mashed potatoes to like whatever.
You haven't heard my sermon. You haven't heard my sermon on how Thanksgiving is actually a fake. It's a phony.
I don't even care.
Turkey sucks. Pumpkin pie sucks.
Yes, I agree.
I'm saying in comparison with what we could be getting. Christian, what are you? A Thanksgiving?
You could be getting. What is the alternative?
Super Bowl.
I
You
like
like the
all those
snacky
holidays,
stuff.
trust me. But yeah, if I'm going, all you can eat of any of those holidays, I'd go with the Super Bowl route.
What's the Super Bowl like thing? Are you the chicken wing guy?
Oh, wings, the buffalo dip, the sliders.
You're taking that over Thanksgiving?
I'm with him.
Dude,
I'm
yeah.
with him. You know
Are
why?
you serious? We can have that any day of the year.
I know.
So you can have Thanksgiving too, but you don't. You know why? Because it's actually garbage food, and this goes to my next point. When was the last time
You're
Thanksgiving.
talking
I
about
love
my
Thanksgiving.
cranberry over my dressing?
You only eat it once a year for one reason.
Wow,
It's because it's actually overrated.
You know what? I won a bet against my wife, and I told her I wanted a mini Thanksgiving in the summer. So you know what? I can have it whenever
I love the idea of Whitney having to put some turkey on the table.
Oh, she was pissed.
You at least make it some smoked turkey. Right. Yeah, I'm with Christian on this because, look, it's a customized smorgasbord.
Yes,
it's a fat guy's dream.
Jalapeno poppers.
Oh, come on! I love how you did the inflection.
the accent. You heard that? You heard that too? Wow.
I'll have the jalapeno poppers. You wrap them in bacon?
Either or, man.
Okay.
It's the same thing as 4th of July.
4th of July, great, but it doesn't. I don't think it touches the Super Bowl.
I'm actually sending you a video of my meatball subs this weekend. It's on the menu.
All right.
We're doing that.
All right.
I agree. You could have a lot of variety with Super Bowl Sunday, but you know what? Nothing tops Thanksgiving weekend and the leftovers that you have.
If you wanted to find out what food celebrations are happening in our country during the month of February, they celebrate National Bubblegum Day, Eat Ice Cream for Breakfast Day, Super Bowl Sunday, of course, National Pork Rind Day.
Who makes these things
for those
up?
who celebrate? Oatmeal Monday, nobody needs that. President's Day,
I love oatmeal.
big anyone. And then my favorite is on the 27th of February, which is National Tartar Sauce Day. Come on. We got to do better, America. All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back. And we've got a lot going around the corner. We're still going to get to some hot jazz talk and hot NBA talk because Jared Weiss is going to join us. He covers the NBA for The Athletic. He will jump on here. It's been a busy week for a lot of teams, including our own franchise here in town. I want to get the national writer's perspective on what this thing looks like.
Outside,
Come on, I like to see what's going on. So Jared's going to join us next. Stay with us. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Your home for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on The Zone. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome in, everybody. It is, of course, JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Thank you for being with us on the program, everybody. We're kicking things off this hour. Jared Weiss covers the NBA for The Athletic and also dips in quite a bit with the San Antonio Spurs, if I'm not mistaken. And so, Jared, we appreciate you joining us. I love these trade deadline weeks. I'm trying to figure out if you guys as beat writers and people who cover the NBA, if you love trade week, if you love the end of the trade deadline.
You know, it's conflicting because it's the most exciting time and it's the most exhausting time. I'm not kidding. I haven't said this in a while. My thumbs are my right thumb is actually sore, and I think I need to go ice it. Just from the amount of texts and calls that I've been on, my throat hurts. Everything in my body is exhausted just because we were literally on the phone and texting nonstop.
Yeah,
it's like being a radio host in Salt Lake City.
Well, that's but see, my voice is basically calloused over. It's been 20 years of talking for 3 hours a day, but. I was looking at this and I was just thinking, it's called Woj thumb. I think that's who originated it. That was It's like a Liz Frank. You got the Woj thumb. Those are real injuries. So you saw this thing shake down, and here in Utah, we were particularly ear to the ground to see if Danny and Austin Ainge and Justin Zanuck would pull the trigger on something. And sure enough, a couple days before the deadline, Jazz fans were treated to quite the trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. to get here to Salt Lake City. That was a big move for them, but what does the rest of the league look at that move in bolstering this roster? Because here it's being touted as the end of the rebuild. Is it going that far? Is that going too far?
It is not the end. I don't know what y'all are talking about. This is Danny Ainge, Austin Ainge, like that. I think that you're going to see another move. There's going to be some sort of reformation here. And it's not going to happen right away. I think there's going to be, Utah's not going to leap into contention right away. Probably. Save that one. Maybe a year from now, you guys are going to be laughing at me for saying that. Who knows? But, it's going to be a process just to teach a team how to win. The fact that the playmakers on the team are kind of younger, this, it's going to take some time for this team to figure it out. But you can see, especially, if Bailey really develops, the way that Keontae's developing, you've got a starting five there that's got serious contention potential in the near future. But one of the big questions is Lauri Markkanen, when he has played, which is not that often, the numbers he's putting up are phenomenal. I just was having lunch with someone in the league today who we were just literally talking about how much of a killer Markkanen's been when he's been healthy. And so now the question is what happens when you kind of ramp him back into all right, he's not only is he playing every game, he's playing seriously, it's defense, it's making the decision on offense. There's going to be a period here where it takes this team to break in. And then there's going to have to be an evaluation by the front office of is this going to go in the direction we really think it's going to go, or do we need to make some other big move? They have the assets available. They have, some young potential all-stars there. They have a lot of things they can do to change things. And also, how is this team going to work defensively? Is it just going to be unbelievable because of the length, or is there going to be some sort of disconnect between all the length they have and the ability to stay in front of the ball? So there's a lot of things they answer, but it was a good value deal. You look at how much all-star players have cost in the last few years, even fringe all-stars. Right. They got pretty good value there for Triple J.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think the Jazz are done. I think there's a lot more things that need to move, but I definitely think this was a big move in the right direction, especially with Jaren Jackson. He's supposed to be a defensive guy, so you get help there. And,
defensive player of the year a couple years ago.
And he can
good.
And he can score on the offensive side of the ball. He's pretty young, so I think they're moving in the right direction. But you say it's going to take a while. You don't think that they could have a Mike Vrabel type of turnaround here? Like, kind of jump back into contention, kind of how they were before the Donovan Mitchell days? Keontae George is talked about as having that type of potential on this team, but is that not a thing that in the NBA where you can have a turnaround like that?
You can. I just think it takes some time to learn how to win. But I think the thing that fans often forget is that failure is a very important part of success in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need to come up short a few times usually to both get the desire to understand the nuances in the postseason and just to figure out how you need to improve to get over the top. So it's just rare that a team can go from completely out the mix, very obviously tanking for a long time, to having that winning culture actually working right away. And we'll see how next season they put players with championship experience in the mix on the back end of the roster to help these guys understand the nuances of winning. It's a layered process, but I think the most important part of the process is, do you have the core guys in place that you think have the talent to really carry you? And I think it certainly looks like the Jazz are knocking on that door if they're not there already.
Well, I'm going to ask you one here before we cut you loose, because I know you're on the road and it's been a long week for you. But Jared, what were your thoughts on the James Harden deal to Cleveland? We're trying to convince ourselves. I'm sure Donovan Mitchell, a guy who we know pretty well here in this market, I'm sure he's trying to convince himself this is a great move. But is it ever a good move to bring James Harden to your team?
It's a great question. By the way, I think I got another 5 minutes or so before I hit the TSA line, so we should be okay here. But, they decided as a front office that they had to move off of the Darius Garland situation. And, they love Darius Garland. It's just that his toe has been an issue. His health has been an issue. And they really want to convince Donovan Mitchell to stay. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with what it's like having to do that, just being in that situation before. They really want to convince him to stay. And so they need to show him a good playoff run this year. They need to cleanse the first half of this regular season and demonstrate that they can win, but they can at least potentially make it to the finals and keep them. And, we see this when you're a smaller market club, having a superstar player isn't just about being able to win ball games. It's also about the commercial aspect. When you have one of these great marketable players, and Donovan Mitchell's a very marketable guy. He's a great guy. He's a fascinating player. He's entertaining. It allows you to sell luxury suites. It allows you to sell courtside seats. It allows you to sell brand partnerships and get sponsorship money. They don't just lose the money of ticket revenue. There's all these other a lot of reasons why Cleveland really wants to keep Mitchell around. And also, I think he's a great player, and I think they could win a championship with him potentially. And so I don't know how Harden is going to fit. Harden has been a consistently great regular season player who has continuously had struggles in the postseason, or even just completely thrown in the towel in the postseason. So I really don't know what's going to happen here at the end. But listen, they needed a healthy guy, and they got one.
Yeah, so that's crazy. The NBA's been funny, this whole trade stuff. What was the most unique trade that has happened here the last couple weeks? Of course, the end of the day was a lot, from Anthony Davis going to the Wizards. You got Luke Kennard going to the Lakers, and one for
maybe
me.
Maybe it's Giannis not going anywhere.
Yeah. What was the most unique storyline here? I mean, for me, I Jose Alvarado for nothing pretty much there. Going to the Knicks, that's a huge asset for the Knicks that they acquired there at the end of the trade deadline.
I mean, just personally, as someone who's covering it, it was really surprising that Jeremy Sohan didn't get moved by the Spurs, just because it seemed like an obvious one. But we won't get that one's not as exciting, so we'll get into the big ones. The biggest one that was just a shocker was the Mavericks being willing to just salary dump Anthony Davis for a menial return in draft compensation. And just honestly, I think it's impressively bold that they were willing to do that, because obviously the value that they got out of the Luka deal now is just tragic, right? And it's officially the worst trade in NBA history, probably sports history at this point, unless we're kind of Bill Russell back in the day. And so for them to be willing to make that convicted of a decision because they really believe in the franchise's direction if they can move on from the situation, and just seeing the value that they got from just having peace of mind from moving on from the situation, it's just amazing to see it's worth just losing all value essentially, or most value, in a deal like that. And so that was probably the boldest move of the deadline. And it wasn't like the Bucks being willing to keep Giannis, which we all knew was going to happen. They weren't. Right. They were never going to get good value for Giannis. We always knew that. Yeah. And then the other one is the Zubac deal. Mm-hmm. Like the draft pick that Indiana gave up, where it's top 5 protected or top 4 protected, and then 10 through 30 protected. Indiana was willing to give up a really premium pick potentially in a premium draft to bring this guy in, hoping that Halliburton comes back in full force and they're somehow able to get this great return from an Achilles injury and go straight back into contention. Their roster needs work even after this. They really mortgaged their future on this for a guy that's a really good player in Zubac, but not quite a franchise definer. So that was probably the most surprising and boldest move.
It's been pretty funny to watch. I always love I always love the grades after draft stuff too. It's just we got to give grades. You know why? Because our grandfathers did it. They gave out they gave out trade grades back in the day. So we're just going to continue that as well. Obviously, it's always yet to be seen if somebody inside of an organization can work. Here in Utah, it's not easy to get guys to come in here with big names, but if you do it at the trade deadline. And they certainly did with Jaren Jackson Jr. So, we're going to cut you loose here. I know you got to get through that amazing airport line because everybody loves being at the airport, especially this time of year. Jared Weiss covers the NBA for The Athletic, and we appreciate you jumping on here, Jared, and giving us your thoughts on this week. And we'll talk to you again, man.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
There you go.
Boy, it must suck to be Nico Harrison this past year.
Somebody get a beat on him? Is there anybody heard from Nico lately?
I
got to check in on that guy.
Does he have a job? Because that was terrible. How do you trade Luka Doncic?
Well, I'm gonna see if I can find him on LinkedIn.
And think that Anthony Davis was. I mean, I'm a Lakers guy, and I still thought that was just
open for work.
Hashtag looking for a move or whatever you say.
Oh my gosh! You got to go to another country, start managing some international
hashtag open
teams.
for work. Now it isn't a LinkedIn deal. It's Mendoza's got the LinkedIn deal now, right? Him and Nico Harrison should start teaming up, doing some LinkedIn stuff here. Yeah, it's crazy to me that in a day where you have a guy like Nico Harrison, and then you have the Vikings general manager who made a bad deal sending Sam Darnold. But I think everybody else looks and goes, yeah, but sending Sam Darnold, especially after they lost the playoff game the way that they did,
it's not like a Luka.
It's not crazy. But the thing that was crazy about that GM were the allegations that he was looking at. Where was he getting his draft stock from? The Vikings GM? It was something fun. Oh, it was on, he'd go to Pro Football Focus and be like, what are the grades on here? Yeah, when zero work done by himself.
You literally have
He was just letting
scouts for your team.
The keyboard warriors were giving him hints on who he should draft. He's like, that's a great move. Maybe I'll do that. You're a GM in the NFL.
You're listening to
looking up Pro Football Focus grades.
Jim Harbaugh talk about freaking.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh!
Well, so the NBA is funny because I think with the Jazz and the Jazz are an interesting team too because you just heard him kind of laugh it off and go, no, rebuild's not done. I thought he was going to go, no, this team's still going to stink for a while. But the direction he went was, and this is pretty interesting, right? He goes, no, Danny Ainge and Austin Ainge, they'll have stuff up their sleeves still. I don't know what it is. I don't know when it's going to be. Obviously, it's not a trade deadline situation because it passed, but. Getting creative in the offseason on how to make this team even bigger, that is a total Ainge family tradition, right? Where you go, you thought that Jaren Jackson Jr. deal was pretty cool. How about I blow your mind with this one? Now, if it's not there, they don't find it and they don't get it. But if it's there, Danny Ainge will find a way. And so you went all these years. And, Christian, I was telling JJ this week, you remember how much we heard the term big game hunting? Like we stopped using it. You remember that?
Yeah, we had to put a ban on it because everybody said it so much.
Everybody said it way too much. And one, because it was like, Danny probably hated that he said it, because as soon as he said it, everyone's all, oh, where's you said big game hunting, and I just want to know where this big game is coming from. And it never panned out because timing-wise, it didn't work out. So when the Jaren Jackson Jr. thing comes up, and they go, this is what he's talking about, and he can get out from underneath that whole idea of we're just going to go out and find these big names.
Yeah.
And people obsessed over that, like, make a big trade. Go out there and make a big trade. Hey, win the lottery. It's saying go out and get a big trade is as worthless as saying, hey, just go out and win the lottery in the NBA. It doesn't work like that. And so bringing a guy in, and I was listening to Jake and Ben this week when it happened, when they kind of rolled it out. And my initial thought was, I don't know. I mean, I always wonder, because we have this like Utah insecurity, right? Like, I wonder if they're going to like it here, or if when he traveled here, if he hated it. Did he get good enough food when he was here? Or is he going to get a cool apartment? And it's like, do you like us? You know, we want you to like Utah. We want people to like Utah. And it was good to hear that he's a character guy. They don't make that move if he's not. You know what I mean? They don't make that move if he's not.
Right.
And so I think from a locker room building situation, all of the
I trust Ainge's assessments of guys.
All of the negative stuff that they say about Jaren Jackson, like, he just doesn't rebound very much. You see his assist percentages? Second worst in the league. I'm like, oh, that's why they got him, so he could really dish the ball a bunch? Like, that's not what... And by the way, the rebounding thing, you got Walker Kessler. And by the way, Kyle Filipowski is a phenomenal rebounder. Like,
yeah, he is. Yeah, Flip is good.
So when you get guys coming in, you go, no, we're not asking him to do that. That's why his best year in Memphis as a defensive player of the year was when he played along with Steven Adams. Was when he had next to him. That's why they drafted Zach Edey, because they're like, we're not asking
get the best out of JJJ.
We're not asking Jaren Jackson Jr. to get 15 rebounds a game. Right. Let Zach Edey do that. You know what we want him to do? Be an absolute terror to people around the rim and to contest shots that most guys in this league can't do
because of their size, but his athleticism plus size can on the defensive side of the ball.
It was the thing that made Rudy Gobert so good. And a lot of times it didn't show up on paper because guys, the adjustments that they had to make to try to shoot.
Defensive MVPs here.
No, I know, but I'm saying like but even though they didn't end up as blocks sometimes, the amount of times that guys would shoot and they're like, oh, that was a terrible shot because I had to adjust so bad to this guy who's got an 8-foot wingspan. So I'm pumped about it. I think that the moves like that.
I thought it was great. I texted you. I was just like, this is good.
No, of course it is.
This is good.
Because trade deadlines are also really good when you watch and you see teams make moves that make their teams better. And then, in contrast, you see the absolute desperation out of really crappy franchises. That's just as fun for me to watch, too. You watch these teams. You watch Washington. That Anthony Davis move.
What are you doing?
Is
Trae Young, Anthony Davis?
So dumb.
What resurgence is happening in this nation's capital?
Somebody made one of those fake cartoon movie trailers based off of this trade coming this summer. 5 years too late, and it had Anthony Davis and it had Trae Young, and Trae Young was like this like miniature of a person. He's like, we're gonna go out there and beat him. He's like, yeah, maybe. Actually, I'm hurt. He's like, actually, I'm hurt. So yeah, I mean that's what it is. They're trying to capture some lightning in the bottle that hasn't been there for either of those two guys in a long time. Could it fashion itself,
of course,
at some point and come back? I don't know. Are we gonna see it again? Highly doubtful. Highly doubtful. The best of what we saw out of Anthony Davis was in New Orleans, not even in L.A. And don't give me the bubble title thing. Like, I don't think he hit the best version of Anthony Davis was when he was playing in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And that first year or 1 or 2 years in L.A., he was good those first 1 or 2 years in L.A.
And then after that, he got the reputation of never being available.
He got paid, and then he just sat on his hands. Did not do nothing. I don't know. Offseason was atrocious. I'm like, what are you training for, bro? You just got paid. You ain't got to do nothing. You got, like, people, like, build some dang strength around those things. Like, what's going on? I don't know. He pissed you off as a Lakers fan for sure. Because, like, you should be easily getting better, and you're not. You got 40-year-old LeBron who's training his butt off in the offseason, and you're nowhere to be found. You don't have no training videos. What are you doing? You dribbled a couple times and went to the ice tub? Like just terrible. So, yeah, bad investment long-term as the Lakers extended him.
All right. We'll see, though. Again, you can give out as many draft grades. We can even talk about how great Jaren Jackson Jr. is of an add to this roster. Until we actually see if Walker Kessler is going to end up.
If it works, you got to see if it works, right?
Yeah, and I think the best version of this is obviously if they're able to get Walker back, a decent deal during the offseason, during restricted free agency. And that's not a guarantee. No. But we'll see. All right, we'll come back. When we return, we've got more, including, I think we're going to get Sam Farnsworth from
Sammy
from Old Italy. By the way, this next Wednesday is a Win Ticket Wednesday on the KSL Sports Zone. You can win tickets this week. Here's what it is. You ready?
Let's do it.
Brian Regan to the Delta Center on Valentine's Day. That's right. Clean comedy over here at Delta Center. Get your tickets today, SeatGeek.com, or you can win them all day next week as well. Okay, we'll come back. We've got more to go around the corner. Stay here, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Thanks for being with us on the program. Happy beginning of the Winter Olympic Games of 2026 in Milan Cortina. We saw Team USA along with all the other nations marching through for the opening ceremonies, all showing off their really cool outfits. That's part of the deal. It's basically the runway for how cool you look. Sam Farnsworth, KSL5 Television, of course, one of our correspondents over in Italy, joining us right now on the program. Sam, the opening ceremonies, was it all it's cracked up to be? I mean, it's basically like a fashion show, man.
It was, right? I mean, they say Milan is the fashion capital of the world, so, right, I guess. The opening ceremonies, I enjoyed it the same way everyone else did back in Utah, which was sitting on my chair in front of the TV while I was getting some work done. I mean, they don't let the press into opening ceremonies. Like maybe if you're the top of the media world, but for the most part, we are left on the outside looking in.
Man, I know NBC put you up there. You just got your pass. You forgot to read that email. No. So how many Olympics is this for you? You've done the Olympics before. How many times is this for you?
Yeah, I was in Paris for the Summer Games. The last Winter Games in Beijing, I was supposed to go, and then for COVID and safety reasons, about 5 days before we were supposed to fly out, KSL decided it would be in the best interest of the company and our safety, I guess, to keep us from going. I was ready to go. My family was ready. Like, we had prepared. I tried to talk them into it. I said, no, let me go. But no. So this is number 2 for me covering it, really. When
you are covering such an event, the event itself is the thing that's the story. I mean, all the actual events, people love. We in Utah, we love, our Olympics of any kind. And yet at the same time, it's the actual it's not necessarily each individual event. It's the people that are a part of it. It's the people that are the background. Obviously, there's a lot of ties to here. What are the things that you have circled on the calendar that you're going to be looking forward to and covering? Because we're going to be chatting with you a couple times a week here.
I've got quite a bit on my calendar. In fact, today I spent too much time probably just going over the next week of things that I have on the plate. I'm going to have a lot of hockey. There's no doubt about that, both men's and women's hockey. I'm going to be in, the 6th. So right after the Super Bowl, pretty much I'm not going to be able to watch the Super Bowl because I'm going to be getting on a bus to a train and then on a bus to go all the way up to this small ski town called Livigno, northern part of Italy, where there's the freestyle skiing and the moguls, and where we just have dozens of locals competing up there. So I'll be up there for about 4 days, and then I'll get back literally straight from Livigno right to Santa Giulia Ice Arena for the United States' first men's hockey game of the Olympics. So it's going to be a busy week, and then we'll see what happens after that. I'll reassess after that for the last week and a half of the Olympics, but it's been good so far. I think the first event I really covered was yesterday. I covered the U.S. women's hockey team in their opening game, 5-1 win over Czechia. And I don't know how acquainted the listeners are with Hillary Knight. She's like the GOAT of hockey, especially women's hockey. But this is her 5th Olympic Games. There's not any other hockey player in the history of the United States who's been to 5 Olympics. She has 4 medals. She's going to get a 5th. And she lives in Utah now. She has for the last couple of years. She's been helping Alexander Kerfoot of the Mammoth out with some youth clinics specified towards young girls and helping them learn the game of hockey. And so that was really fun getting to know her yesterday.
Man, did you find a new Nona out there? We've been thinking about it over here.
I need to, man. I need to find a Nona that can cook me some good meals, dude. I don't know what the deal is with where my hotel is, but there is nothing around here. There's like
That was going to be my other question. That's it, because Italian is my favorite. What has been your favorite event thus far?
He said Italian is his favorite, but he also said that the GOAT is Olive Garden. Take it with a grain of... Take it with a massive grain of salt.
I'm not over there.
It's like very offensive to the Italian people.
This far,
Olive Garden and Macaroni Grill, close second.
Yeah, Macaroni Grill.
Hey,
May it rest. I feel like it's not around.
Mac Grill's great. Mac Grill's great. What's been your favorite event thus far that you've done? Not necessarily the sports events, but there's a lot of spectacles and stuff going on around there. What's been your favorite thing to do thus far?
Yeah, there definitely is a lot. For me, I mean, maybe it's just the recency, but again, just going back to yesterday's women's hockey game, that was just really fun for me to witness in person. The best female hockey players in the world on the ice, and then it was while we're in the arena. Here's a strange story. You guys probably heard about it, but we're in the arena. The women's game had just started when news broke that the next game was supposed to be Finland and Canada. The Finnish team. Women's team, they had to reschedule the game for a whole week because they had a norovirus outbreak in the team, and they only had 8 players that were healthy enough to skate yesterday. As of today, they had, I think, 16 total players on the ice. They're supposed to play the United States tomorrow. So we're watching that closely. Yeah,
I mean, man, you go to the pickup basketball in the court, man. You don't need any subs, no line changes over there. You're good.
Right? Yeah, I mean, look, they're playing the giant of these games too in the United States. I'm not trying to say Finland's no good, but whether they have a full roster or 12 people, I think it's going to be the same outcome.
I'm one of those guys that is a sucker for, because I turn on Peacock and they have that whole like Olympics button you can press, and I was watching the Switzerland-Czechia game in women's hockey today, and I was like, oh, and it was a shootout, and I think they had to go to like 10 different rounds before finally Switzerland won, and they'd come back. And I was just like getting some chills, and I'm going, I wouldn't care one thing about this game except for it's the Olympics. And that kind of brings that different tone there. Today, Lindsey Vonn has been kind of going at people on social media saying, hey, I'm not faking the ACL injury. It turns out that it is 100% blown.
People say they were faking it?
Oh, they're saying they're trying to make it dramatic and stuff like that. I'm like, is it not dramatic enough that she's 41 and is doing this? What are the chances that she does medal? I know that let's assume that her injuries are easily overcomable, I guess, just for this temporary time before she gets back to the States and has surgery. Where is she on the list of? Because I know she had a tremendous World Cup season. She still looks exceptional, but like this is a young person's sport. I feel like all these sports are young people's sports.
Look, I think in the downhill, it's all about speed, right? Mm-hmm. And if you can go fast, which she can, you got a chance to win, but you got to hold those turns. And that's where I'm curious to see where the knee comes into play. She looks great. She had a practice run today. I saw that practice run, and there's a couple of times where look, I'm no expert, but it kind of looked like maybe she was kind of trying to be soft and gentle with the knee, where she kind of cut loose a little bit on some of the turns. And her time wasn't great. Again, it was just a practice run. It was her first time skiing since she blew her ACL. So, but there's no doubt about it. This is the story of the Olympics right now. And it may be the story of the Olympics for this entire stay here, especially if she ends up on the podium. I think she had a great chance to finish on the podium prior to her injury. With the injury, I still think there's a chance, but it's going to be one of those amazing Cinderella stories that they'll make a movie about in 20 years if she does get the medal, right? So no matter what happens, the world is going to be watching, because everyone wants to see not only what this 41-year-old who retired and came back and, it has been successful in the World Cup season to now being injured. Everyone wants to see what she's able to do.
Well, I mean, I'd love to see another Molly's game, down the road. Hopefully Lindsey Vonn can make a movie about that. No, man. Are you into curling? I've watched curling in the last few Olympics, and I'm like, there's a lot of excitement around that. I'm getting in it from behind the TV set. But are you into curling?
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I learn a little bit more about it every year. And this year, before we left, they actually had us all go out and do like a curling session and kind of get coached through it and stuff. But now you watch it and you understand the strategies a little bit more. And it's like, It's like when you finally understand darts and you watch the British people play darts and everyone going crazy. It's like, okay, I can see maybe why they're excited about it. But curling, yeah. And you know what's fun about it this year? I think to me, when I think of curling, I close my eyes. I think of curling. I think of people who are in their 40s still out at the Olympics curling, right? But this year, and I can't remember their names, but they're doing the mixed doubles right now. It's already begun. And the United States has this young couple, this young mixed doubles group that are probably in their 20s or something, and they're out there dominating. I don't think they've lost yet. I think they
beat Canada
6-0
today, right?
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, holy cow, the United States, Freebird, right? They play the song Freebird whenever the U.S. scores a goal in hockey. That's their goal song. I'm like, man, they should play that at the curling too. I don't know what's our anthem at the Olympics, but I'm telling you, the curling thing, it's going to catch the U.S. by storm if they finish on the podium.
Well, and it helps because we've had some successful curling outfits that have come in, and then there's the added element of, I think these guys learned it when they were half drunk in Wisconsin at a bar, and they just got to be Olympians after that. Obviously, that's quite a stretch, but at the same time, it feels like one of those events where you go, oh, why does that guy look like me? Like, now they're very flexible, because I also couldn't bend over like that while they're sliding to send that rock down. But man, I look at some of the things that the Olympics stand for and how much fun this is going to be. And you've covered Super Bowls and you've done Olympics. I know the Olympics is a different beast because you're there for 3 weeks to cover the thing. But in terms of height of covering stuff in a sports career, where do those two things land?
Oh, man, this is a tough one. I mean, they're both immediately at the top, right? But I'm also one of those people who've said, you put me in a high school gym with 500 people that are very into it and excited about it, and I'll still get chills, like being in a good atmosphere. I don't care what the event is, what it is, and I'll be like, this is the greatest thing in the world, right? Right in that moment. I get that. I'm lucky enough to say I get to experience that often in my career, where I just feel like this is just an amazing moment that I don't want to forget. But there's no doubt about it. The Super Bowl, especially covering it for a fan base as passionate as the Broncos, I think there's something different about covering it when you go for your affiliate, kind of like what we do at KSL when it's just the NBC, or when you go and cover the team that you're actually there for, right? That you're delivering it to their fan base. So those Broncos Super Bowls were something pretty good. But tell you what, there's something about the Olympics too, especially back in Salt Lake, that people, they just love it. They eat it up. They get bit by the bug every 2 years, whether it's winter or summer games. Like you just said, Alex, you're watching, you're suddenly getting caught up. That's one of the great things about the Olympics. It doesn't matter what the competition is. We all get into it, and we all start, cheering for our country to win, no matter what the competition.
Yeah. And my kids get into it. It's a whole thing, man. It's awesome. You turn it on. There's a reason why Salt Lake is like the best Olympics market in this country, because we just we're suckers for competition, and if the flag starts waving at the end of it and tears start rolling down the cheeks of these athletes, it's even better. So
it's like the 4th of July, all over again.
So from the let's go back to the hockey thing real quick, because I know Team USA is as highly ranked as they've ever been, and they're having quite a streak of playing some of their most exceptional international hockey. Of course, they won. I'm trying to think. So here in Salt Lake, Canada won gold. Yes, and
yes,
yeah. So that was.
Do you remember they took like a Canadian dollar?
Oh,
and put it on the floor, and they had the ice frozen over. So at mid ice of the East Center, the Maverick Center, they had like a Canadian dollar under the ice for the Olympics. I don't know who they knew to get them to do that for them, but Canada won those games.
But I'm trying to figure out if Team USA really does have a shot. I know we have one of the more talented teams, and we're pretty high up there in the rankings. I was kind of going through the IAH rankings throughout the year, and it's been Canada, U.S., Russia a little bit, but obviously Russia's not there. It's been a lot of these teams across the board, but this is as good as Team USA's ever been. Now, the women's team is phenomenal, and it's always a battle. Canada and U.S. are always right there. But what does Team USA have a shot at when it comes to medaling and maybe even getting at the very, very top of the podium?
Well, I think the expectation should be to medal. There's no doubt about that. I think they've got a legit shot at finishing on the podium. This team is talented. Just go back to the Four Nations last year, right? This is going to be pretty close to that because the rosters aren't that far separated from what we saw at the Four Nations. Mm-hmm. And if I remember correctly, that went to overtime to determine the champion. You know, you're just a couple of bad bounces away of the puck, a couple of saves of the puck away from the U.S. winning that tournament. You know, they haven't won a gold since that Miracle on Ice team in 1980. They won their first world championship last summer with Clayton Keller for the first time since 92 years. So the U.S. isn't a team that people expect to win it all, but they are a team that everyone expects to be right there in the Final Four, right? Finland's going to be great. Czechia is going to be solid. Sweden's going to be amazing. And then, of course, you have Canada, who's just downright dominant, although their goaltending
went down, man.
Keep an eye on that. If the U.S. can get into a shootout with Canada, they might have a shot. So, but I think the U.S. I think it's reasonable to expect them to medal.
Sam, real quick, because I can't let you loose here on our pre-Super Bowl show without making you think a little bit about what really butters our bread here in Salt Lake, and that is American football. Seahawks versus the Patriots. Tell me your thoughts. Who wins this one? Give me good news here, brother.
Look, if the Broncos were in it.
See, I was hoping to go this close without having to hear it, but I know you can't.
No, look, I'm going. When it comes to the NFL playoffs, I'm more of a recency guy. I go with the teams that are cooking, that are looking good, that are kind of rolling into the Super Bowl, and I feel like that's the Seahawks. And I don't think it's even going to be close. Ooh. So. Debbie Worthen, she's out there covering the Super Bowl for KSL TV with JJ as well. She asked for all of our Super Bowl predictions, and I gave it to her yesterday. It was just the first thing that came to my mind. I spat it out, and I think it's Seahawks 34, Patriots 10. Mark it up. I don't think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be close.
Wow. I can't. Wow, I can't resign myself to believe you. Just because I just don't know. I know how this game goes sometimes. So.
Look, I don't know what it is with Sam Darnold, but
I know.
He's going to win himself a Super Bowl and be a hero in Seattle for the rest of his life, and he'll probably stink the rest of his career after this year. But, man, this year he's been amazing, hasn't he?
All you need is that 1 year, get that gold jacket.
Gold, green jacket, gold jacket.
Let me see here. Sam, we're going to be dipping in, of course, a couple times a week here with you, so
sure.
keep us on speed dial. And, hey, enjoy the all-you-can-eat soup, salad, and breadsticks while you're out there.
Yes.
You and I can delicious. Go to the OG when you get back and taste the difference.
All right. Sam, we appreciate it, man. I know it's late for you, so thanks for staying up late with us, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Yeah. All right, there you go. Sam Farnsworth.
What do you think is the most popular Olympic game? What is the 100-meter dash of the Winter Games?
I have a very, very, very interesting top 10 list that will answer all of those questions when we come back. How fortuitous of us. Okay, We'll take a break. We'll come back with the top 10 around the corner. It's Olympic based. Stay here, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Don't cheat.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You heard Dylan Gunther talking about Veggie, how big of a deal it is. Of course, Karel Vejmelka is going over to play for his home country. JJ Peterka is going over to play for his home country, Germany. Finland, of course, for Olli Mata. Team USA for good old Clayton Keller, of course. Am I missing anybody else? I think that's everybody, right? I might be missing somebody.
I think that's it.
I think I got everybody. Did you see what Nick Schmaltz said about this whole thing? He goes, oh, yeah, look, I mean, great, awesome. I love all these guys on my team. But when the Olympics start for these next 2 weeks, it's all Team USA for me. I hope all the other guys on our team going to play for all their other countries can pound sand. He said it. That's what he said. They can pound sand. I go, that right there, that's the edge. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Screw you guys. Take our gold medal away from us, man.
Hey, man, I'd like to come back to my locker room and brag. So
You know what's funny is like, have you seen the John Hamm Team USA hockey commercials too? Like they're pushing hard, and they're all based around the Team USA and this Team USA Team Canada rivalry. So I love it. All right, we're gonna dip in with Sam Farnsworth in just a little, or not Sam Farnsworth, the other KSL 5 sports host, and also my co-host on this program, Jeremiah Jensen, who's out in Santa Clara, California. We'll talk to him next hour. But first, I have an Olympic theme top 10. You have the 60-second timer over there, Christian. You're also allowed to participate if you feel so inclined. And I've got to make sure I can find my list again here because I was.
Don't cheat. Don't cheat.
As soon as I brought up what the thing was, he was like, "Oh, that's crazy!" No. Starts clickety clacking. One time, Sam Farnsworth, by the way, just straight up cheated. He was like, he's like looking at his computer screen. He's like, the 49ers. And I'm like, what are you looking at? He goes, what? I'm like, freaking cheater. You're like the clean as a whistle guy here at the station, and then you cheat as soon as you get the chance. The top 10 Olympic sports by TV ratings.
Oh, see, that was my question.
He wanted to know which one was this. So you've got 60 seconds on the clock. Both of you can make your guesses.
Just winter, just
summer,
winter,
or
all of
just
them?
winter. Because I will just tell you, summer dominates.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Summer dominates.
Summer's incredible.
Winter specific. I have all top 10 of the most popular by TV ratings sports that people watch in the Winter Olympics. On your mark, get set, go.
Hockey.
Ding.
Snowboard halfpipe.
Ding.
Downhill skiing.
Ding.
Bobsledding. Cool runnings.
Ding.
Come on, Irv Blitzer. Irv Blitzer. No, there's no ping pong and hockey and ice.
Speed skating.
What is it?
Speed skating, short track.
Ding.
Long track. Oh, figure skating. Michelle Kwan, baby.
Ding.
What else do we got here?
What's the ski jump?
Ding.
I said bobsledding already.
You did.
Luging. What is the curling?
Skeleton.
I just said curling.
Wait, what did you say?
Skeleton.
Ding.
Skeleton crew. Okay. Snowboard, downhill skiing.
Slalom.
What?
That's part of alpine skiing. But
Okay, my bad.
All right. Shoot.
Ooh, we're getting there. I can feel it.
Oh, yeah.
I can feel my
It's
bones.
hurt-
The time's about to be up here.
Where is it at? This is a great 60 seconds. I love it.
Time's up. You guys I think you got
8, right?
or 9. Number 1, figure skating. Number 2, snowboarding. Number 3, alpine skiing. That's the races. Hockey's 4. This one, I'll give it to you because I wouldn't have thought it was in its own category. But freestyle skiing, that's the one where they're doing the tricks and stuff.
You ever play the game
Number
Ski
6.
Free? Ski Free back in the
Oh,
day?
yeah, of course.
Ski Free was my game, man.
On the old school, like on the Motorola phone. You're
Yeah.
like looking at it and going, ski free. Speed skating, you guys got it. Ski jumping, you guys got it. Bobsled, you got. Skeleton, you got. You missed number 10. Just number 10. Curling. Should have brought it
I
up.
said curling.
Oh, did he?
Sly said curling
did?
at the same time I said something. Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't hear it because you guys both. Okay.
Oh, don't you dare. You heard me.
He cheated. He cheated. I have it on,
No,
I have it on
didn't.
video. I got it on video.
I just talked to Sam about curling. I had to ask.
I know. That's what I was wondering. I was like, you got to mention the curling. Okay. Want to mention before we get out here.
Ping pong, that should have been on there. I don't know what the heck's going on.
My Hearing Center is going to be hosting Scotty on Tuesday from noon to 3. My Hearing Center is located 8941 South and 7th East in Sandy. Go join Scotty and friends right there, noon to 3 on Tuesday. We'll take the break. We'll come back. Jeremiah Jensen, we're anticipating having a conversation with him when we come back. He is in Santa Clara for the Super Bowl. Stay here, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Your home for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on the Zone. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Been a fun show so far. Lots of Olympic talk, of course, with Sam Farnsworth last hour. And, that's a big event. It's cute.
It's cute.
It's a cute event that they're having over there in Europe.
In Milan.
But the big one. I'm so glad we don't have to save the big game when we're just talking about it. It's so annoying to hear all week long people just calling it the big game because there's commercial stuff associated with it and they can't and blah, blah, blah. So
it's just
covering
the game, folks.
I know. Covering Super Bowl 60 for KSL 5 Television and also for us at KSL Sports. He is Jeremiah Jensen on the program with us. JJ, how'd the travels out to Northern California go for you, brother?
Oh, smooth so far, guys. Everything's coming together. And I'm just here to cover Bad Bunny.
All right, listen, I do expect, I know Milan is a big fashion place, but I'm looking forward to whatever wild outfit Bad Bunny's going to have tomorrow on during that halftime show. And you can't have an artist at halftime without having like a little bit of controversy. That's half of the what you have to go by, the formula to win on those ratings. You think about Kendrick Lamar, you knew he was going to say some weird stuff, and he did, and it was phenomenal.
Weird or
and
controversial?
Both. And and so there you go. You got a lot of it going on here, but we've kind of been talking all show, and you and I have talked about it this week. The Super Bowl feels like it lacks some luster here. Are we not giving it enough of its due?
The thing we're getting here is a great matchup, guys. Yeah, the star power, there's not a Tom Brady here. There's not a Patrick Mahomes. You're not going to have the celebrity interest in this Super Bowl. There's not going to be a Taylor Swift here watching her boyfriend play on the field, right? So that's a little bit different. Mm-hmm. But I think, guys, we're getting a better on-field matchup. Remember, last year's game wasn't great.
Yeah.
So I think the Patriots and the Seahawks deserve to be here. They played great throughout the season, the regular season, and they got it done in the playoffs, and it wasn't easy as both teams had different circumstances they had to deal with, especially the Patriots playing in the snow in Denver. That was not an easy way to get here. So they've earned it. They've deserved to be here, and because we have two teams that are so closely matched, when you look on paper, when you look at the statistics and all the analytics, we should get a great football game on Sunday, which is what we really want, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I know me, as sports nerds over here, that's exactly what we're looking forward to. So playing on that, what should fans actually be paying attention to? Instead of all the spectacle of who's singing a national anthem or halftime shows or what Super Bowl commercials, as far as the actual game, what's the biggest matchup? What's the biggest thing that people should be paying attention to and wanting out of it? You said that the top-tier matchup here, but, why is that so exciting as far as X's and O's?
Well, there's so many great storylines. Let's start with Sam Darnold, a quarterback who was drafted by the Jets with a lot of hope and promise and a lot of expectation. And like every quarterback that goes to the Jets, it didn't work.
Right.
And everyone said, you're a bust, you suck, you're no good. And he just went along and found opportunities to stay in the league, took backup spots when a lot of guys drafted number 2 overall can't humble themselves to do that, and finally got the opportunity in Minnesota last year and played great. But they even cast him off, even though he won 14 games.
Right.
For him to come to Seattle this year and do what he's done, to win 14 games again, I think he's one of only 2 or 3 quarterbacks ever that have had back-to-back 14-win seasons as a starting quarterback. It's remarkable. And if Sam Darnold wins a Super Bowl this weekend, guys, he joins elite company. So I think if that happens, the way you talk about Sam Darnold changes. On the other side, you got a quarterback in Drake May, who's only in his second year and was in the MVP conversation. And to help to be a part of this Patriots turnaround, this rebuild that's taken place so quickly now in their 12th Super Bowl, when a lot of people thought the Patriots were going to take a back seat for a long time, has been pretty impressive. So those storylines, along with the actual matchup, there's a lot of interesting stats we can go over that may determine who wins this game. But you start with the quarterbacks, and right there, I think you have some intriguing storylines.
Aside from, the buzz that happens at these games, we kind of convince ourselves that, what the stories are going to be. Obviously, the Sam Darnold story is a big deal. A very, very close MVP race, which I was actually kind of shocked by, that Drake May gave a scare to the possibility of Matt Stafford winning that MVP, but Matt Stafford won it. But we were talking about that, and we were like, yeah, he got second in the MVP voting. But where is Drake May on the list of quarterbacks in the NFL if you were to put together a list of the top ones? Does that mean he's the second best quarterback in the league? It doesn't feel like it.
Probably not the second best quarterback in the league. I think he had the second best season for a quarterback. But to take that next leap, I mean, winning the Super Bowl would be a start. But you're going to have to do that over 2 or 3 seasons, I think. There's still a lot of great quarterbacks in this league. he's got to prove it more than one season that he's better than some of those names and some of those guys. But I think he's top 10, guys. Would you argue he's not top 10? Is he not among the top third of the quarterbacks in the NFL right now?
I guess I agree. Yeah. But because of how quickly the rise has been, it's like we aren't ready to put him on any lists yet because that's just the type of people we are. We like wait for you to do.
Well, I'm a Broncos fan, Alex, and I don't know where I put Bo Nix.
Yeah,
but he just led this team to the conference championship game and a number 1 seed in his second year. So there's some great young quarterbacks in this league, and Drake May's certainly one of them. Is he top 5 yet? I'm not sure I'm ready to go there, but top 10, absolutely.
I don't know if he's top 10. I mean, there's got some. I think he's teetering top 10 though. But his second year, what he's been able to do with this team. A lot of people are talking about the schedule and how that benefited them. But for me, I think this is Super Bowls always come down to the limiting mistakes, right? It's who never knows what mistakes in that first quarter is going to affect you in the fourth quarter. So in the battle of the mics, how important is coaching going to be in this matchup?
Oh, it's going to be crucial. I think there's going to be a lot of decisions that have to be made in this game because I think it's going to be close. How do they manage their timeouts? How do they manage some of those situations? How many times do they go for it on fourth down in this game?
Right.
A lot of tough decisions are going to have to be made. And with the NFL the way it is now, you see a lot of teams going for it on fourth down. As a Broncos fan, I watched Sean Payton go for it on fourth down, and that was a crucial play in the conference championship game, and it didn't go the Broncos' way. One of the reasons why the Patriots are here. So those calls and those decisions are going to be massive in this game. Which coach has the edge? I think that Vrabel is that rah-rah culture guy in the locker room. McDonald seems more of the analytically gifted guy. I don't know. I guess maybe that'll play out in the Super Bowl. But if you're looking at those type of things, that's kind of how I see those two coaches. But I could be proven wrong in this game. It doesn't mean they can't do both.
Right.
But the culture that Vrabel's established, it feels like he's inspired that Patriots team to overachieve. Whereas I look on paper, and that Seahawks team just needed a system and a way of doing things and some tweaks with talent that allowed them to make a quick rebuild. I think you look at Pete Carroll, and while he had a great run in Seattle, it's pretty obvious with his time in the Raiders that it was probably time to hang it up as a coach. And so you bring in new blood and fresh blood, and you get a quarterback that can win games for you, and you draft a receiver like Jackson Smith and Jigba, and you build a defense like that, you can win games at a high level. So I think on paper the Seahawks are the better team. They have the better skill position players. So coaching will matter. Coaching will have a big role in this game.
Jeremiah Jensen, of course, in California, covering this Super Bowl 60 here. Of all the Super Bowls that you've covered, which was the one that had the most hype going into it?
The most hype? Oh, man. Probably that Patriots-Eagles game. The Patriots at that point, Brady was getting a little bit older, but still considered in his prime. It was Tom Brady and Gronk, and they had won that game against the Seahawks earlier. And I think I'm trying to remember the sequence of years. If that
is that
was
the Nick Foles? Is that the Nick Foles? Is that the Nick Foles year?
Yeah. I covered the Nick Foles Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think the year prior was that crappy. Yeah, the year prior was that crappy Rams game, like 13-3.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Patriots were the defending champion, and here was another chance to win another Super Bowl. And you had the Eagles, who had never won one before, but had a lot of good players on that team. Obviously you remember the quarterbacks, the Philly special, the Nick Foles. That's what that game will be remembered for, and the Eagles pulled off the upset and won a Super Bowl for the first time. So there was a lot of hype in that game because of Tom Brady. The last Super Bowl I covered was Rams-Bengals, and it was during COVID. It was weird. The Bengals obviously aren't a team that generates a lot of buzz, but that was a young Joe Burrow and a Bengals team that showed a lot of promise, and anytime LA is involved in anything, it makes a big deal. But I feel like that Patriots game was a big one with the Eagles, with the hype coming in with the Patriots and all the celebrity that was involved with that one. So, this is my fourth. I also covered the one that was also a Seahawks-Patriots Super Bowl. And Alex, I don't want to go into more detail, but we all know how that ended.
Well, what's funny is that
Marshawn Lynch, baby.
I don't know what. I think we have like NFL Films up or something right now because it's
they're
showing
playing that game.
They're playing that game, and it's like, but every time they go in and out of the breaks, they just keep showing the Malcolm Butler play, and I'm like, man. Hey, so the I know. Listen, I get
Stings, it
it.
stings.
When it happened, what was crazy is I still can't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, I actually still cannot believe it. And I know a lot of Seattle fans feel that way. But we were going through the list of the Hall of Fame class for this year, and I was trying to figure out if we're okay with this list, how it ended up. And I'll bring it up here for you because, and I was telling Sly too, I get a little bit over the guys showing up at the front door, knocking on the front door. Like, when they do it a couple of times, it's great. Now everybody's showing up, knocking on doors. Dan Fouts showed up to Drew Brees' house. I don't think he recognized him, to be honest. He was just like,
Who the heck
how
is
you
this
doing?
guy?
No, deliveries around back. Like, if it wasn't wearing that gold jacket. No, but like, I love that these guys are making, I don't think people are, I don't know. I think it's funny that we limit it so much, but here's the class. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and the senior finalist was, of course, Roger Craig, who played all those years for the San Francisco 49ers, and he was part of that dynasty. And frankly, when they announced that he got in, I thought, oh, Roger Craig's not already in the Hall of Fame, but that's how it works. What are your thoughts on this year's Hall of Fame class?
I mean, it's a pretty solid class. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald was phenomenal. Sly doesn't have any sympathy, but it's a shame that Larry didn't get a Super Bowl ring. No. It took a phenomenal play by Santonio Holmes to pull that off. That was a great Super Bowl. One of my favorite Super Bowls to watch. But Larry Fitzgerald was an incredible receiver and deserves to be first ballot, as does Drew Brees. I mean, the stats speak for themselves.
Right.
A Super Bowl champion. I like Roger Craig as a veteran. When I was growing up, the 49ers were the dynasty. Yeah. And Roger Craig was an important part of that, and he was solid for a long period of time there for more than a decade. So I think he deserves to get in that capacity. Obviously not being a first ballot guy, but being able to get in that way. I look at Bill Belichick not being in, guys, and I know that there's only so many guys they can vote in and all that kind of stuff. But how does the greatest coach of all time, how does somebody with 8 Super Bowl rings, with all the wins and everything he did, and you can love him or hate him, I don't care. You have to look at the accomplishments. How is he not in as a first ballot Hall of Fame coach? So that's the glaring omission for me. I didn't see a list of other snubs. I probably need to take a deeper look at that.
Eli Manning comes up a lot. Eli Manning comes up a lot because it was his second year to be able to get there. I think he'll get there, but it's just, that's one that people wonder.
But he had the rings, guys, but do the stats make him a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Right.
Not even close. So I'm fine with him waiting. I know it's dumb. If you're a Hall of Famer, you are or not. Why do you wait? Well, you need to give these guys their moment, and you can't do 20 guys every year. And there's years where there's going to be more than others. So I understand why they do it the way they do. And I also understand the other side of why people get frustrated, why this guy's clearly a Hall of Famer. Like, I think Steve Smith's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
To localize it.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
If Steve Smith isn't in yet. But why not? Well, he's going to have to wait his turn. But, like, Torrey Holt's not a Hall of Famer.
Okay, that's what I was going to bring up. I've got a list of snubs in front of me. You tell me if these are people. Just tell me if they'll end up making the
go through and I'll
the
say
Hall
yes
of Fame
or no.
here. So Frank Gore.
He will make it someday.
I think so, too. L.C. Greenwood, that's one of the senior class people, played for the Steelers for a long, long, long time.
Steelers.
It's crazy he's not in yet, to be honest. I remember the commercials when I was a kid.
Right.
Torrey Holt? Should be.
He's going to be. He should be a Hall of Famer, but
Eli Manning.
Eventually, yes, but I think he needs to wait.
Terrell Suggs.
Terrell Suggs, one of the best pass rushers and linebackers I remember, part of those Ravens teams.
Always
He's a Hall of Famer.
Always playing second fiddle to Ray Lewis on that defense, right?
And I don't know why, because if you ask people around the league, and Sly will tell you, like, that dude was a menace.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the reasons why they were so good. So I think he should get in eventually, yes.
Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne is still not in. All the catches he made everyone remembers, Marvin Harrison with the Colts and Peyton Manning, but Reggie Wayne put up massive numbers. He should get in eventually. I get why he's not, though.
Kevin Williams.
Eventually.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. You play defensive tackle. He was all pro 4 times.
For the Bills?
Nobody remembers
Minnesota,
or thinks about the
Seattle.
defensive tackles.
I know,
or the interior linemen, right?
especially when you play for Minnesota for 11 years of your career.
Right.
Right. You kind of get lost. Yep.
Jason Witten.
Yeah, I think as a tight end.
Yeah, I think he'll be there.
Well, he just played for the Cowboys, so that sucks.
Darren Woodson.
I think he's being punished because he didn't win a Super Bowl with the Cowboys. And
For
that
sure.
whole group, Tony Romo, all those Cowboys underachieved. So I think that's why he has to wait.
And then Darren Woodson, also snubbed this year.
Darren Woodson needs to be in, and maybe next year's that year.
Yeah.
Darren Woodson's a Hall of Famer.
He had a 12-year career, and it was one of the best that we've seen a defensive back in Cowboy history.
And he won Super Bowls with those great Cowboys teams. He's got to be in.
Okay. Hold on. Let's take a quick break here. I've got some more Super Bowl questions, JJ. You cool to stick around for a minute here after we get back from the break?
Yeah, you bet.
All right, let's take another break. We'll come back. We'll dip in with our own Jeremiah Jensen, who's there in Santa Clara. It's a thrown together last-minute Super Bowl roundtable with a guy who played in the Super Bowl, a guy who's covering the Super Bowl, and a guy who eats a lot of food during the Super Bowl. So I think we got it all covered. All right,
easy on the wings there,
We'll take
Alex.
a quick break. We'll come back. More to go. 97.5 The Kids. Wait, before I get out, I got to tell you, I got to remind you, this portion of the show brought to you by Trajan Wealth, TRAJAN Wealth.com. TrajanWealth.com for all your trusted local needs in retirement. Now we can get out. 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
All the latest news and notes from the league and the locals in the NFL. JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. Appreciate you being with us on the program. JJ and Alex, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. We're JJ-less. We are Alex Napa-less. Christian Esparza spinning the hits over here for us today. Christian, we appreciate your help today, man. As always, phenomenal job.
And you know what? We're not JJ-less.
Oh, that's right. I'm just saying in the flesh. You know what I mean? We're getting virtual. We're getting AI JJ. I'm hearing that this isn't even the real JJ. He set up a phone and walked away. AI learned about his attitudes, and then this is what we're getting is AI JJ. Does that sound right, AI JJ?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's better AI JJ than JJ in the flesh. You don't want to see my flesh, trust me.
Very articulate AI.
It's that music, of course, is our NFL Blitz. No better time to have it than with somebody who's there in Santa Clara covering Super Bowl 60. I've got one for you here because this one, I think will be a good one for us. We talked about people who were snubbed this year for the Hall of Fame. I'm going to roll out people who are on this year's award winners at the last night's NFL top honors banquet that they have. It's like your high school banquet, you know. You have some food and then you get your letter jacket and then you walk off the stage. It's cool. So the 15th annual NFL honors ceremony. So I'm going to name guys and then you tell me if they are going to be Hall of Famers. Okay. So the AP most valuable player in this order went Matthew Stafford. Yes or no?
Yes.
Hall of Famer.
Josh
100%.
Allen. Or no, sorry, Drake May.
On his way.
Drake May first. Drake May first.
Way too early.
Very early.
Way too early.
Very early. Josh Allen on his way, you think? Okay.
On his way.
Trevor Lawrence also receiving a lot of votes.
Too early.
I'm just going to go hard no. I don't think he's going to make it.
I wouldn't say
his
hard
hair
no.
is Hall of Fame hair, though.
Hall of Fame hair. They'll cut it off and put it in Canton.
Sunshine hair. Wait till he cuts it off.
They'll cut it off and
put
put
his
it in
hair in the Hall
Canton.
of Fame.
Yeah. They have that big tall guy come in and go, Trevor, can I have a word with your hair? Not you. I need to talk to your hair. Christian McCaffrey.
I think he's going to be, yes.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're guessing into the future, but some of these guys I look at and I go, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Whatever. How about coaches? Mike Vrabel.
As a coach,
way too early.
I know. I'm making you guys project.
I don't know if it's way too early to project.
Oh,
that.
yes, it is.
He's had some great years. He went to AFC championships.
AP coach of the year twice. AFC coach of the year twice.
He gets a Super Bowl ring this year.
But also fired for being at Tennessee and not doing well. So that's a strike against you. All right,
It's a lot more difficult to get in as a coach than it is a player.
I agree.
Honestly. You have to stand out a lot more. You got to win championships.
Okay, I've got a handful of young guys. You can only pick one to make it to the Hall of Fame. Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, or Mike McDonald.
Mike McDonald.
He's on his way, man. And what did you call him? Like Robo McDonald?
If you asked ChatGPT to make a head coach, he would come out You could churn him out with some kind of AI generator.
He'd be 3D printed in
like,
your house.
He just looks like a robot coach, but he's good. He's really, really good.
All right, offensive players of the year candidates. Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Do I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I'm asking you to project. Don't say
Yes.
too early. You guys say yes or no. Okay. Drake May.
Yes.
Christian McCaffrey. You already said yes, right?
Yes.
How about Puka Nacua?
Yes.
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Defensive Player of the Year nominees. Who's going to the Hall of Fame? Myles Garrett?
First ballot.
Myles Garrett, first ballot.
First ballot. Will Anderson, Houston.
Oh, yeah.
He's on the way, I'll say
He'll
yes.
be there too, yeah. Oh, this one, I think you need to recuse yourself off of this one. Nick Bonito.
Nick Bonito, that's a tough one. Had a great start with the Broncos. There's got to be more longevity, and I can't put him in the category of a Myles Garrett. So I'm saying this as a Broncos fan. I have no idea. I guess I'd probably say no because he's still got a long way to go.
Okay, how about Micah Parsons? Michael.
No.
What? Aiden Hutchinson.
I'm worried about this injury. I don't think he's done enough before the injury. We'll see.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't. He hasn't done enough to this point. And what is he going to do after this? You're asking me a yes or no right now in their career. I would have to say no.
Okay, this is an even tougher category. The Offensive Rookie of the Year candidates. You got to really project here. Tet McMillan, he was your winner of it.
No.
It's how wide receivers got to do a lot, man.
I don't trust him long term.
Also on the nominee list, I don't know if he was there. He must have been at the party if he got invited. If he got an invite, you got to be there. Jackson Dart.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. I'm going to say no. I think he's going to have a great NFL career, but to be the elite quarterbacks, he's going to have to put up some massive passing numbers, and we haven't seen that yet from him.
I think if he goes to a different team, being in New York boroughs just sucks. So
it's tough.
If he goes to a different team, gets a good coach.
Become the next Sam Darnold. Get a reset somewhere else.
Right.
Trevion Henderson.
Well, I like
That's
that.
early. That's early, too.
I think he's going to be a
projection.
New England staple.
Yeah, but you know what? Freaking running back. I'm just going to not put any
He's
running
be
backs.
on a really good team for a long time.
Okay.
No, I didn't see enough this year to say that.
Yeah, and I think that running backs now, they have to do so much more to like turn the eyes. It used to just be
there's no Terrell Davis.
Longevity and B, massive numbers.
Yes.
And especially right after the gate because your shelf life as a running back is very short.
Right,
so he didn't have that 1,000-yard breakout season his rookie year. He's behind the 8 ball.
Okay. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Carson Schweisinger got the win for the Cleveland Browns. They had a lot of guys winning awards for not actually winning very many games this year.
Yeah, really. Seriously. I'm going to say no.
Abdul Carter, Giants. I'm going to say yes on that.
Oh, man.
That guy's going to be insane.
Pass rushers, you have a chance to rack up a lot of sacks, and you get that notoriety. I'm going to say no, but I'm probably going to be wrong.
James Pierce Jr., Atlanta Falcons. Not enough.
No.
Comeback Player of the Year. Christian McCaffrey. He's a Hall of Famer. Come on.
We said
Yeah, we've already discussed him.
Stephon Diggs.
That's a hard one. We've got a body of work, right, guys?
Yeah, he does have a body of work.
And up until this point, he had more passing yards and touchdowns in the postseason than any player that had not reached the Super Bowl.
Wow.
And now he's finally there. He's had a lot of success with 3 different teams now at a high level. He's kind of like that. We had that discussion about Torrey Holt and Reggie Wayne and Steve Smith. It's really hard to get in as a receiver. I'm going to say no.
What? All right, so do you think here's a snub?
Does the pink cocaine make a difference in this deal? Is
Strangulation of the pink cocaine. What about Antonio Brown? Does Antonio Brown no Super Bowl wins?
AB.
Oh yeah, he does. He got a Super Bowl win in Tampa Bay.
I'm gonna go.
Does he? He's
eligible next year.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
I'm gonna say NO.
Next year.
You're gonna see the Hall of Famer. You're gonna see the Hall of Fame writers. If they're gonna leave somebody out, it's gonna be AB.
I mean, I'd leave him
I
out
think
just
his
so he doesn't make a
stuff's
speech.
going to keep him out, guys.
It's going to keep him out. He's going to be because the writers don't want to feature a guy who's been a terrible person post-career.
Needs to get extradited from countries.
Yeah, I was going to say facing possible murder charges, I think, right now, allegedly. And let me see here. Oh, Dak Prescott. Ooh.
He's got great numbers.
He has amazing numbers. He leads the league every freaking year.
Great numbers, no postseason success.
He's the next Tony Romo.
Matt Ryan. You can't dock Eli Manning because of. I mean, there's flaws with Dak. There's too many flaws. I'm going to say maybe later on, like a long time down the road, unless something changes with postseason success.
Okay, Penei Sewell.
He will be at a Hall of Fame. Yes,
absolutely.
No doubt.
Now, the Walter Payton Man of the Year award goes to your very own Bob Wagner. That guy is there somebody who could get in earlier than a first ballot? Because it would be him.
Bobby Wagner is a Hall of Fame lock, and I will be shocked if it's not first ballot.
Yeah. How about Travis Kelce?
Yeah.
First ballot Hall of Famer, yes. You can argue he's the greatest tight end of all time.
Yes. How about this one after it's all said and done? Because he was the Walter Payton Man of the Year for his team. Garrett Bowles, your guy.
Oof. Garrett Bowles is interesting. I think Garrett Bowles is going to make the Broncos Ring of Honor. He only has 1, maybe 2 Pro Bowl nods. I don't know if it's enough to get in the Hall of Fame.
Let me see here. Derrick Henry.
Yes. Hall of Famer, might be a first ballot lock.
Okay. All right. There you go. JJ, what are you looking forward to most with this game on Sunday, man? And don't say being done, the live shot being done, so you can pack up and head back. Don't say that. You can't say that.
Outside of that part of it, I'm not going to let my work get in the way of enjoying this.
There you go.
And I'm going to enjoy it. I think it's a great matchup. I think we're going to get a really good competitive game. So an interesting stat before I go. The Patriots led the league in explosive play percentage on offense, and the Seahawks led the league in explosive play percentage on defense. And what that is having 20-yard plus explosive plays on offense or allowing them on defense. And so we're basically getting the most explosive offense versus the defense that does the best job against explosive offenses. Which gives here? Which is going to give? I think it's going to be the Seahawks defense that gets it done.
Oh, wow.
And I think the Seahawks are going to be celebrating a Super Bowl.
Am I the only one on
Alex,
the Patriots train?
You don't want me to say that because you think I'm going to jinx it, but I think the Seahawks get a win.
Sly is full on an AFC honk. That's what he's doing.
I've talked to JJ about this on Sunday nights. I don't know. There's a lot of things, of course, the Super Bowl, and you get top-tier matchups against top-tier teams like this. Like, JJ, you put number ones versus number twos and number ones in certain things, you're going to get a great matchup. And so I think this is all going to come down to experience and Vrabel, who's been a part of many Super Bowls and who's the nutcase himself about all this stuff, and this is his moment for me. And so I got the Patriots in this one. But, JJ, finish this statement for me. This Super Bowl is legendary if
Sam Darnold gets his Super Bowl victory. Because it's such a great storyline.
Make him the MVP. Make him the MVP too. Make him the MVP too. Really?
Sam Darnold's the MVP. It's one of those storybooks like that. That's why we watch the games, is to see somebody like that get that moment. So that would make it legendary. And if obviously you got to have a great moment or a great finish to become legendary in that game. So I think Sam Darnold is that guy to watch, and I think he can get it done.
I think
he got it done against the Rams. The Rams were a really tough game to win.
It was.
And he made it happen. He took care of the football in that game.
Dang muff punts. I think this Super Bowl is legendary if pink cocaine is dropped.
Oh, my.
On the midfield line. On a route.
Well, if the Patriots win, there's going to be plenty of that.
Wow. Wow.
Where are you going after the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I was going to say, come on.
Not Disneyland.
I'm not invited.
I'm going to Miami.
Good.
What did Von Miller say? I'm going to strip joint.
Oh my gosh. That works for Diggs, man. All right. JJ, thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Thanks,
Have fun
brother.
covering this one, and we'll catch you back in Salt Lake when you get here. I know you're going to be, I think, en route on Monday. We're going to have a short show anyway. So
Yeah, we'll do this again on Monday afternoon. So we'll have a lot to talk about on Monday.
yeah, all right. Jeremiah Jensen, thanks,
National
brother.
Pizza Day, JJ.
We'll talk to you again, man.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the weekend.
We'll do. There you go. Oh, JJ's the guy who likes the pizza, man.
Yeah.
I will do. I mean, look, I'm never going to discriminate against the pizza. But Monday is National Pizza Day. It's weird you do it the day after the Super Bowl. I think it's just like it's close enough to the Super Bowl because everybody orders pizza
I think
on.
it's just on a day. Super Bowl changes.
I know, but you can't have it that close to the Super Bowl.
Just
and then
move
pretend
it. Just
like,
move it a day.
oh, wait a minute.
It's a man-made holiday anyway.
Man-made. Oh, you mean it's not natural? The stars didn't give us National Pizza Day?
No, they did not.
Thank you.
The Aztecs didn't either.
They were like, oh, the lineup. The dog days of summer, and then you got the pizza days of winter. That's what you have. That's what the constellations gave us. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll put a button on this hour. We've got much more to go, so stay here. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Wrapping up the hour with our picks for the best and worst moments on today's show. As JJ and Alex want to hear your best and worst of the day.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone. I've got a couple funny things that happened over. So did you see Cam Scadaboo talking S to Shedeur Sanders?
S.
Fill in the blank.
Smack?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Got you.
So they're like filming this thing for whatever, the Pro Bowl and Super Bowl week, all of it kind of wound up together. And they're kind of on like other side of the set. It feels a lot like, if you go look it up, it feels a lot like the reality shows when they all get together of the reunion, like whatever reunions there are. And they're like, and you told him, and I actually
know
said,
so much about these
and you
reunions.
sense that, and you know that since I left the house, I've been in rehab twice, like that. And they'd be like, "Are you disrespecting me?" And they're yelling across the studio, like down a couple rows. You know what I'm saying? You've seen this play out.
I have not.
And don't act like that. Cam Scadaboo is like yelling at Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is like, "I don't even know who you are, dude. Sit down." He goes, "You were drafted in the 5th round, dude. That's broke."
Oh, I love
He
that.
goes, "You're broke." This is Cam Scadaboo.
Wait, when was Scadaboo drafted?
It's
It was like
second round,
or third,
yeah.
right?
He was up. He was
Yeah,
third
pretty
round.
high.
Yeah.
For a guy who looks like he would be doing doing your concrete for your pool, Scadaboo was drafted high, man. So, and they're talking trash like at one another, and he goes, "Hey, dude, you were drafted in the 5th round. You're broke." That's what he said.
I don't know about the broke thing, but
I don't either. It's
just the contract situation is different besides
Obviously.
Shedeur's
Wait.
endorsement deals.
Scadaboo was drafted in the 4th round.
I don't know. Listen, he had 1 round on him. That's why he felt good about it.
It's higher than Shedeur's. That's all that matters. When you're talking smack, that's all that matters.
When were you drafted? 5th round? Oh, dude, that
You
was
suck.
that was
so long ago.
That was 37 minutes ago, dude. Why would you do?
Oh, wow, you're a
put
third
stock in that?
there? You're a third there? Oh, that's crazy.
I just think it was funny that they're going through. Okay, the other best that I saw, staying in that vein, and he was dead serious about it. I felt bad for this kid. I'm gonna probably call him kid the rest of his life. But Jackson Dart was asked about the Offensive Rookie of the Year voting. Did you see this? And he goes, and he's like, he's downtrodden when they're asking him about it, okay? Because he had an outfit on. He was ready to, I don't know if he's ready to walk up on stage, but he wore an outfit. And they asked him about it, and do you guys know how many votes he got for Offensive Rookie of the Year?
8.
1. Right. So he got 1, and they said, "What do you think about that?" He goes, "I feel like I was just massively disrespected by all these voters. I just got disrespected." And I was like, I love this because whether or not he actually thinks that or not, saying it out loud and getting yourself out there, creating the chip on the shoulder is what every great quarterback and really any great competitor has ever done in the game. Now, I will never compare Jackson Dart to the best competitors in the game yet, but I will say, take a page out of the Michael Jordan book of slights. The Tom Brady
high school benching to not get an Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Right. With the out of the Tom Brady school of go ahead and underestimate me. You know what I mean? Like, they go this route. People don't necessarily, like, people inflated Michael Jordan's, like, and Michael Jordan had to invent things too. Like, oh man, those guys slighted me. Now, the good news about Jordan was he lived in an era when Isaiah Thomas was playing in the league when he was, and Isaiah Thomas thought that he was honestly the best person that's ever been born on planet Earth. So he always had Isaiah Thomas getting in his ear saying, I'm actually the best. And Michael Jordan's like, I am going after this dude. But Jackson Dart felt disrespected when he was not just not named the Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't think anybody thought that was in the cards. But
I want to know who told him to go.
The one vote. To go.
You got one vote, but like you get understanding, like you have an opportunity to win this. Like it's not as far out, but you got one vote and somebody told you to go. I think going is one thing.
It's like the Oscars. They know there are a lot of people who are not going to get close to winning that Oscar who are in the nominee list.
Tetsuo McMillan had 1,100 yards.
I know. I don't think he knew he had a shot. I don't think he had a shot. But I think he's creating this. You know what I mean? All right.
I mean, yeah. Here's the thing. I created a lot of stuff. I mean, you saw Waterboy, right?
Perceived slights. Perceived slights. I'm going to make it up in my head so that I have an edge to go after him.
Waterboy was classic, and that's exactly what football players do.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome back. Final segment of JJ and Alex today on a Friday, getting you ready for the Super Bowl. What are you going to be doing then? What are you cooking up at the Sylvester household?
Well, first of all, I'm pissed off. I lost my fantasy football, so I got to do a punishment.
Oh, no.
So I'll be out on the streets.
With a BYU hoodie on?
No, I would never. Holding a sign talking about my fails in fantasy football.
Can I tell you about something that happened in the hallway here in the KSL building, in the KSL broadcast house? There was this girl who was chatting with Sly on the hallway. And she's sitting down and she goes, oh, so I see you're wearing a lot of Utah stuff. So I'm glad to see. Are you a fan of Utah?
Why did you laugh at that, though?
I did. I was like this because I was walking by and I just go, do you happen to be a fan? It's like going to the Star Wars convention and go, oh, you like Star Wars? I couldn't tell by the Princess Leia outfit you had on. You were wearing the Princess Leia outfit of Utah gear.
Utah?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
The Utah man stuff is dialed up. Very, very good.
Always.
So here's the deal. The all-time medal table, who owns the most medals all time in the Winter Games?
In the Winter Games?
In the Winter Games.
Michael Phelps.
No, the Winter Games, and not one person.
The Winter Games.
Not one person, countries. What country leads everybody?
Oh, in the Winter Games?
Yes.
Are you on countries or person?
Countries.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to know a country because there's probably some biathlete in Germany or something.
It's either Russia or Canada.
Any guesses? Come on,
Winter
Christian.
Games?
The Winter Games. I thought Russia too.
It's got to be like Finland or Sweden, something with all the skiing stuff.
You're getting closer. You're getting colder because that's what they do. They don't get warmer on those things. They get colder. There you go.
Norway?
Norway, number one.
Really?
All time. Actually, kind of by a lot. They have us beat by 75 medals all time.
75 medals?
They have 45 more gold medals than anybody on the list of all time.
Oh, my gosh.
They have more silver medals. They have more bronze medals. They have all the most medals. Norway. Yeah, it's because all those cross-country skiing, all this stuff. So we're number 2. Germany, number 3. Soviet Union's number 4. And then Canada bringing up the rear at 5. You're not on the podium, by the way, if you're number 5. Just wanted to let Canada know that officially. All right. Sly, thanks for hanging out, man.
Of course.
We'll see you on Monday.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll do it. Pizza day, if we're going to break it down then.
It's the best day in school, too, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.